Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Xbox Ultimate Podcast. This is episode number 167. Whew, what a day yesterday. We were excited for the Game Awards for a while, and we've been kind of hyping it up around here. You know, saying that, reason to think that Xbox is going to show up big, show up at these Game Awards and give some goods. Stuff got even more heated leading up to the show. Didn't know 100% what they were going to deliver, but things were looking kind of spicy, right, behind the scenes, and people heard things, and, but man, they came out, they showed up, and they delivered at the Game Awards, and there's a lot of stuff, too, that we're going to get into besides just the Xbox stuff, but what a fantastic 24 hours for Xbox now since the Game Awards last night, and, man, we're eating good here, people. Some people aren't happy for some reason still, There's lots of shenanigans still out there, lots of talk. I don't think some people could ever be happy, you know what I mean? But it's been crazy, and one thing's for damn sure. You know who's been the talk of the town today on Twitter and social media and X and wherever you go? It's been the Xbox. It's been the Xbox, been the Xbox games, right? Mm-hmm. So I say that's a success. But also I want to say
and Keeley for all the wrong reasons.
And Keeley, yeah, for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
we'll talk a little bit about that too,
multiple
right?
reasons.
Yeah. But I do want to say as well, like to the chat and everybody who came out and showed up last night to watch the stream. We were live for over 6 hours yesterday, and guys, I mean, the chat, you guys really made it feel like this was the place to be for the Game Awards, right? And I can't say how much appreciate that. All the people, all the comments and hanging out, all the vibes going yesterday for the show, and there may be some channels or whatever that may have some more views on the co-streams or whatnot, but the energy here was just electric, and the chat, you guys completely added to all that, and thank you so much for choosing to hang out with us last night, because it was a blast. I really honestly feel like we probably had one of the better co-streams out there, and that's not me trying to be cocky or whatever. It's just really this community has kind of turned this whole thing into something else, and man, it means the world to me, and I know everybody else here too. So thanks again. I appreciate you all. And holy hell, it was fun. It was a lot of fun last night. I know by the end of it, we were like dead. I mean, we were fucking exhausted, dead, like oh my god, we were wanting to get the hell out of here. But man, what a day yesterday. One of the days I'll remember for a while for this channel for sure. But let's get to the panel here, because we got more to talk about. I mean, like, we've had some time to reflect, right? To sit back and think about everything that was shown and let things marinate a little bit, right? So we're going to get into a lot of that stuff. But how you doing, Fuzzy?
I'm doing great. Just glad to be here with you guys, man. Just been watching Twitter, and like you said, people are happy or not happy or confused or upset. Weird energy out there just for stuff where this was like Christmas Eve of gaming, pretty much. Like, who knew that the secret showcase a lot of these PlayStation insiders have been talking about would wind up being the Xbox showcase over at the TGA? So yeah, I'm sure we'll get into it, but glad to be here with you guys. Thanks everybody in the chat for checking us out. Man, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. It was like an Xbox secret showcase, right? Like, it kind of felt like it. I mean, you had three big things showing up there. You had other stuff going on with Xbox there as well. Like, I feel like they probably showed up bigger than any first party like platform holder. That's for damn sure. Get
used to it.
Yeah,
they're one of the biggest, if not the biggest publisher now. This is kind of what they're going to need to do almost every show. They're gonna have something and multiple things to show.
Did Nintendo even show up last night?
No, besides the nominations, no. But that doesn't even freaking matter right now, Jasper. It does not freaking matter. Mav said we sat back. No, we're not sitting back here tonight. No, folks, that's right. We are back again for another show. And you know what that means. It's full steam ahead for the sub train. Choo-choo, motherfucker. That's right. Razor NZ is starting us early on this sub train. That's right. He came in with his old bag of coal, popping it in there, getting that fire burning, because we're rolling down the tracks tonight with a nice 10 bomb early on. Thank you, Razor NZ. We are now down to 927 for the rest of the month. 927 is your goal, folks. You're almost there. Thank you, Razor.
What's
NZ.
crazy is with all the gifteds that happened yesterday with Pong egging everybody on. It's like almost every name in the chat right now is fucking green.
I know,
it's insane,
bro.
But for real, Razor, appreciate you again. Support's never expected, but always appreciated. You guys rock. Man, Jasper, how's it going today, bro?
Pretty good. My sleep schedule is completely fucked. But other than that, it's decent.
I think I saw you like pop online at like 4 a.m. last night. Like I was in bed, like trying to fall asleep. I was like, oh, Jasper's on. I imagine you've had an interesting last, I guess, 72 hours or so, right? So, but yeah, man. Thanks for being there last night. I'm sure even though you had slept for 20 hours prior, you were still probably kind of tired, you know?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have even got up yesterday if it wasn't for the Game Awards.
So you would have slept for 26 hours at least, right on. But yeah, it was fun, man. Thanks for being there last night. Psycho, how are you, bro?
I'm doing fantastic. Love the energy yesterday. Love what seeing what Xbox brought us. And then it's been pretty quiet there on X/Twitter. So
it's been quiet. Has it? It's been interesting. It's been an interesting day on Twitter for me, at least.
Well,
it's not been quiet. It has not.
I think I blocked a lot of the idiots.
Okay.
That's why it's been quiet.
Yeah, probably why.
Yeah. Everything besides anime and tentacle porn is blocked.
Yeah, exactly.
Feed, right.
Exactly. That's all. Now I did see some people, crying about how it's Blade and not somebody else, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I made a post like just saying the back, complain. Like I said I swear like somebody could be given a suitcase with $5 million in it, and then just complain about the kind of suitcase it was given in. You know
it's not in like a Louis Vuitton suitcase, so I don't care.
For sure, it's like crazy, man. I don't get it.
You know what we're not going to complain about here, Map? You know what we're not going to complain about here? We're not going to complain about these bombs dropping early on in this show. That's right. The energy's still popping from last night, folks. If you weren't here to catch that, you better go back and watch it, because guess what? People are addicted to this energy, and they're showing up in force. First of all, we got the amazing, the absolutely fantastic Stone King X. Right? He saw that 10 bomb dropped early, right? He said, you know what? I'm going to come in here with a 5 bomb. I'm going to get the sub train rolling a little bit faster. That's right, folks. Stone King X doesn't want to see advertising on this channel. That's what he's making a statement right now. You all can make a statement by hitting your goal for our channel this month, saying no advertising. We don't want that fun speculation. Thank you, Stone King X. We appreciate you. And guess what? Not to be outdone, the man, last night he showed up. Guess what? He found a couple spare ones. That's right. Bold Alpha Wolf Pack showed up and said, guess what, guys? I checked my closet. I scrounged in the corner. I came out with a 5 bomb. So I'm going to give that to you guys. That's right. The train is a-rolling. The sub train is going. The advertisements are getting further in the rear view mirror. That's right. So we are now down to 917 for the month. You guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. And if you're lurking out there, if you're just watching the show, we appreciate that. If you want to, hit that like button, wink, wink. Just hit the like button, wink, wink. It's real easy, wink, wink. And then if you just happen to accidentally hit the share button too, that helps out the channel so much. Thank you all for being here tonight. We appreciate you all.
I think Reforge is going to hire Pong It's like he's gonna be on his payroll. Pong Soul might be the best hype man in the business. I swear to God. Thanks. No, for real. I appreciate
So
you,
much
Bold
love,
Alpha, Wolfpack. Appreciate you, Stone King. You guys rock. We got some super chats to get to real quick too as well. Adidas 20 with the 5 says Xbox is cooking and Sega is back.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, they
Absolutely.
are. Love seeing Sega come back.
Oh my God. They had more
so
game announcements this year than PlayStation did. In one trailer. One trailer. They like this was Sega's secret showcase too. I mean that new era, right? It's crazy.
New energy.
You know, that people keep saying PlayStation's going to turn Xbox into Sega. Well, right now, if you're PlayStation, that wouldn't be so bad now, would it? You know what I mean? Like, look at what they got. Absolutely insane. Chris Jones with the $2 super chat says Metaphor, Refantasio, and Vision of Mana. Fire. 100.
Very much.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Again, hey, brand new big Square Enix JRPG coming. First time in how long for Mana? Like forever?
15 years. 15
for a
years.
brand new game. And
Yep.
this one ain't
First time on
skipping
Xbox.
Xbox.
Nope.
This one is not skipping Xbox. Absolutely
a
fucking
huge
incredible. Alvin with the very generous $10 super chat. Appreciate you. Alvin says, a great show last night, and I just rolled credits on BG3 90 minutes ago. Feeling amazing. Also, everyone alive the past 2 years knows Blades exclusive. Let them stew in the mud. Let them stew, man. We'll talk a little bit about that, but we'll just be given the facts of kind of like what the situation
But
is,
it's
right?
not a big Marvel character, Mav.
I think
So
it
he
is.
started off the MCU.
It's
The C unit says Mana was before
Yeah.
Jasper was born.
it was.
Yeah,
It's about
he was.
Yeah.
He was a thought in his daddy's.
Sneaker to
Ruiz,
Mana
I-
certainly was.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I actually played some of the Mana games on PS4 a little bit. You know,
Yep.
it's a great franchise, man. And, like seeing
Yeah.
it come back, I feel like it could make a impact a little bit with that scene, with the JRPG scene.
When did the
there.
first one come out?
Ooh, back on like the Nintendo,
Was
Oh.
it?
like an NES, right? Was it NES?
I don't know if. Yes,
No.
it was. Yes, it was.
NES?
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
it was.
yeah. Secret
Yeah.
of Mana was NES, yeah.
Is it just called Mana? Is that like the franchise or whatever?
Secret of
It's a
Mana.
Mana franchise, but yeah, they got
okay.
like this.
Trials of Mana came out in '94.
Right.
Insane. Super Nintendo. Don Sega the Otaku says Super Nintendo. Okay, so
Was
back
it
in the
Super
S.
Nintendo first? I swore there's a Mana on the NES, though. I can see the fucking cartridge. Anyways, continue.
One or the other.
Unless it was
yeah.
in Japan, it was on the Nintendo, and then later came to the Super Nintendo for North America.
Let's see.
Yeah, not sure.
But this is a huge get for Mana fans and Xbox, all just in general, because like I bought Trials of Mana and Secret of Mana for the PS4, the remastered of the games, and I just I would love to see it come to Xbox, because actually Xbox social teams tweeted to the Vision of Mana's social post that we would like to see more Mana come to Xbox, and so that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, maybe they'll start putting out some of the older ones. You know, who knows? Jax82 with the $2 says Reforge is going to sue Pong and Mav. LOL. Over what?
Let 'em
You
try.
begging?
Let him try.
Pong sold e-bags better than I do.
Oh my God! Did you see the video where he was nitpicking Hellblade 2, and he was like going frame by frame? He's like, "Look, it like the character stopped for like a millisecond, and it was like,
It's a count
what
of
was
3.
this?" And then and it was like, "Look at this, 3 fucking poses," and then boom, it was stopped, and then I'm like,
What was he
the
trying to
fuck?
say? It's not real or something?
Yeah,
Like,
he was trying to say that they're doing something cinematic with the fight scenes. that there is a pause.
It's like a you hit a button
Yeah.
and then like an action happens or whatever. It's not like it's
Yeah,
fluid.
that's what he's trying to predict is going
You
on.
mean like
You mean like
Anyways,
an assassination type thing? Like
that's what he's.
I mean, that's in like
I didn't watch the whole context again. His clips are taken
Right.
out of context, so it's very hard to get what exactly he was
Yeah.
doing. But yes, he was trying to claim that that wasn't like actual action at one point. That when she makes contact, that there is a count of 3 in the frames. That they're like basically paused, and so he thinks that there's some type of effect in the background going on, that it isn't complete 100% action is what I got out of it that he was trying to say.
So you're gonna be playing and that happens? I mean, yes, like that's part of the fucking game. Like, who cares anyway?
the QTE events for like most of PlayStation games.
I mean, you can pick any game that has like stuff like that, and those things take place, especially like PlayStation games. You know, like it's
Honestly,
not.
people just stop sharing this fucking clown. It's just
It's
so
crazy.
stupid, man. It's like, listen up, folks. Hey, listen up, everybody. The subtrain. We are rolling, and guess what? We don't discriminate. It doesn't matter if it's a 20 bomb. It doesn't matter if it's a 10 bomb. It doesn't matter if it's a 5 bomb. We welcome everybody, including those single passengers who want to jump on the subtrain with us. That's right. The single passengers are very welcome here. And guess what? JW Universe jumped on board. Welcome to the speculators. Welcome to the subtrain. Choo choo, motherfuckers. Let's go. We got more room. You guys want a match? Come on.
We can add another train car.
Train car. You guys are crazy, man. All right, Jay Rimbert with the $5 super chat says, I want to see the Xbox Roundtable podcast featuring everybody on this panel with the addition of Dirt, Sean, and Post Up. Make that happen, people. Oh, we can try and get a podcast episode special going with Dirt and Sean and Post Up. Like, I love those guys. I hopped on for a minute earlier with Sean and Post Up and Dirt. They happened to be there today. And great guys over there. So, yeah, maybe one day we'll try and make that happen. Let's see. Magnum Westward member for 2 months says, here's my free membership chat bomb. Hey, take advantage of those membership perks. Appreciate you, Magnum. That's absolutely awesome, man. Everybody in the chat, you rock. But hey, yeah. Hi, Pong. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. It's been a long day. First of all, gotta give a quick shout out to somebody that everybody probably knows in this community. You got to know the guy, but this guy exposes the hypocrites more than I have ever seen out of anybody. All these people that try to say the console war is just jokes, that nobody should take it seriously. I got to give a shout out to somebody we haven't talked to in a long time, Evan. I was actually going to tell you that you should see if he's got some time for one of our shows one night, because I haven't had a podcast with him in a long ass time, and it'd be fun, especially right now. And that's Tim Dog.
Mm-hmm.
This dude, man, listen, talk about a dude who just sits out here. Sure, he's an Xbot. He's a fanboy. Of course he is. He's been here since the OG. Like, he knows Phil. Of course he's going to celebrate this stuff. But the personal insults, the absolute 1000% abuse that the circus claims on both sides doesn't happen, that it's all in fun, it's all in jokes. The past week that I've been watching his Twitter feed, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking just complete assholes, man. You guys are complete assholes. You guys are despicable human beings, man. You guys try to claim this is all about video games, that it's just all for fun, that it ain't serious. Tim is not out here name calling. Tim is out here just celebrating Xbox. Sure, he takes digs at PlayStation. Sure, he takes digs at Sony, right? And Jim and everybody. But you guys coming in there with the absolute personal slander on this man. And I know Tim doesn't care. Tim likes it. He does it all the time. But my God, Tim Dog. I mean, again, shout out to you, brother. I can just go through your Twitter feed and hit mute like 1,000 times. It is absolutely incredible, man. So shout out to Tim Dog. I'd love to talk to him again. It's been a while since I podcasted.
Yeah, we need to get Tim on again.
Yeah, he's been taking it up. So, hey,
Whoa.
otherwise, Friday, it's been incredible. You know, again, kind of sitting back, like you said, man, kind of taking it all in, watching a bunch of 4K trailers. And just kind of re-looking at everything. I watched some more people's reactions too. Shout out to the Iron Lords podcast. I kind of caught up on them, and just listening to other people's reactions. It's absolutely was a phenomenal show overall. It really was. As a gamer, just sitting back and Matt, you talked about how we kind of thought Xbox was going to have a big show here. We had also talked about how we thought that the other devs and publishers were going to come with it too, knowing that there was going to be a ton of eyes on this show, even more so. Keeley increases every year, but as I said, I want to hear his numbers, but I thought he'd have the biggest percentage increase this year just because of what a year it was for gaming in general. And I think that's probably pretty true, but we were spot on. Everybody showed up, brand new IP like we talked about last night. Really haven't stopped thinking about all these new games that are going to be coming over the next couple, 2, 3, 4 years. And of course, the Blade announcement, which again, as a non-comic, superhero fan, per se these days, Blade is still one of the ones I care about because of the movies. And one of my favorite studios, Arkane Lyon, is going to be doing this Blade. I can't wait to see. This is 4 years out, probably, knowing Arkane Lyon. This is probably 4 years out. They're going to want to do this right. I can't wait to see what they bring. I don't care if it's exclusive or not. I do believe it's going to be exclusive at the end of the day. As a gamer, I don't care.
Yeah.
We can have the discussion about the business side of things, of whether or not that would be an L or a W, in the long run. But I just care that it's being made and that one of my favorite devs are doing it. And I can't wait to see what they're doing. But man, the energy has been absolutely unstoppable out here. And again, we come through. And again, this is crazy because the energy is just carrying over here. We're going to get to the super chats.
We are going to get to those super chats.
We're going to get those super chats. And Randall Thor, I see you. I'm going to catch Rand's right here too, but I'll let Mav catch everybody's here. But first of all, Adidas 20. He heard that we still had seats open on this sub train. That's right. He heard the call out. Choo choo, motherfucker. That's right. He heard it from a long ways away. And he said, you know what? I'm not going to miss this train. The Speculator sub train sounds like a fun deal. I'm going to walk in here and I'm going to get a ticket. That's right. That's right. Thank you for joining the Speculators. Adidas 20. We take singles. Again, we do not discriminate here at all. And Randall Thor, shout out to the legend, the man with $1 million. Him and Jazz had another great show. I could only lurk. I'm going to have to catch up on it again today because I had too much stuff going on at work. But my God, this man just keeps killing. He comes in here, he says, but Pong, how come there wasn't room on the Speculator subtrain for the Xbox logo on the Blade trailer, though? You know what? It's hidden, Rand. It's hidden right now. Yeah. They've got their reasons, right? We are 3, 4, probably even maybe 5 years away from seeing Blade. They're going to slowly wax that trailer, and all of a sudden you're going to see the Xbox logo, and you're going to see the Game Pass logo in there, and it's going to say exclusive.
Yeah.
So yes, it's coming, Randall Thor. Thank you for the 10 bomb, brother. Appreciate you. Rand's doing his part to keep ads off this channel. Thank you so much, Randall Thor. And not to be outdone, another man who was here last night enjoying this show, another 5 bomb from Decado. I don't know how many he dropped last night, but my God, it was ridiculous. Decado up in here with the 5 bomb. Choo choo, motherfucker, Decado. You got the train up to like Mach 1.5. We are rolling through tonight. It didn't stop. It wasn't just last night. It's Friday night now. We're going to get this going. Your goal for our channel, right? Your goal for our channel is now down to 913. We are rolling right along, folks. Let's get this done this month. No ads. That's going to be the new motto here. No ads. Choo choo, motherfuckers. No ads. That's our new motto. Let's go.
What was the random number you started at yesterday?
1,076.
Yep. 1,076.
Oh, you guys have been absolutely fucking insane. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Also, Amerta War, member for 4 months, says choo choo. Yeah, choo choo back to you, Amerta. Appreciate you. Then we got J Mac with the $5 super chat. So shout out to Xbox Ultimate Podcast. Is it safe to say that Xbox World Order is fully operational? Hashtag XWO. Hashtag Graybeards. Xbox killed the Game Awards.
I got that gray in my beard. I do.
Yeah.
And we got the Death Star right now for Xbox right now, for sure. They're building it.
Do you got any gray in your beard, Fuzzy? Or you put color in that thing? No, you see a little bit. You're on mute.
You're muted.
I know Psycho.
Got a couple of gray hairs in there.
Yeah, okay. I know Psycho does. I know Pong does.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
I'm like probably 80% gray down here now, right? Jasper doesn't have any fucking ability to grow a beard, I don't think. So
He's hairless.
he's like the hairless cat. It's just like walking around. One day, Jasper, you can be a gray beard, bro. But no, appreciate it. Yeah, and
He's
thanks for that.
decades away from
Thanks
that.
for that $10 super chat too, Rand. Appreciate you, bro. But yeah, let's just dive into that, right? Well, I have one more thing. Deathlord, member for 15 months, says you guys rock. You fucking rock, Deathlord.
You all
rock.
fucking
You all
rock.
fucking
All
rock.
of you rock. You do.
Oh man, let's get into Blade, right? I mean, this was a thing that started swimming around the back channels, you know, for a couple days right before the Game Awards, and you know, I was like, do I want to know? Do I not want to know? And then you know, these fuckers kept teasing me until I caved, like the little bitch that I am. I caved, and I was like, okay, let's just make it a guessing game, knowing full and well I was gonna eventually fucking get it. Because I'm brilliant at 20 questions.
Wait. Hold on. No.
Yeah.
No. Well, hold on. Now, wait a minute.
What?
I didn't tell this full story. Okay. Hold on. I eventually got to the point in the DMs where I told Mab, I said, remind me to never be your partner in Pictionary or charades. This dude is fucking horrible. His guesses were all like, I couldn't have given him any better hots and colds, and it was all fucking around. He named off every other fucking IP except for fucking Blade, even though we've talked about Blade a billion times on this channel. He went all the way around spiraling, and I was like, come on, Mav. Come on. Finally, he nailed it.
I just honestly thought Blade would be too good to be true. It was like, it was in my mind, but it's like, I'm not going to guess that one. Because that one's like
What?
a home fucking run.
I called you out because I knew you said Gambit. That's too good to be true.
No, Gambit would be like my personal choice.
Right,
Like if
but you actually said that. You said that. I said it to you in the chat. I said, no, it's not Gambit. You're like, actually, I was thinking about that.
It was my first thought because obviously that's what I want. That's what I mean, right? But yeah, eventually I found out, and then you know, like everybody here, like we didn't share with the public and all that kind of stuff, and it was awesome to kind of have that in the bag, but also like not know if it's real, not know if it's true, not know if it's going to happen, right? And then, you know, like I said last night, we had the moment before a couple of years ago with the Xbox shrimp thing, acquisitions. Is all they're going to announce all these acquisitions at the show and all this stuff, right? And so sometimes these things don't really happen. It's like these leaks come out or these rumors and they start swirling, the hype and the energy gets crazy. But this time that happened. And they fucking delivered, right? With Blade. Fucking Blade made by Arkane Lyon, which is going to be, I think it's going to be absolutely insane. Third person action adventure story with probably really focused on story and stuff like that too. So I think it's a great thing to celebrate because this is something that like Xbox fans have been kind of asking for a long time. They're saying, hey, you know, Sony has Spider-Man, they have Wolverine now and stuff, and we kept saying, and there's been podcasts literally with the entire conversation of like, does Xbox need their own superhero, right? And we were like, hey, like why not? You know, it'll bring in a lot of people. Plus, also I think it's fucking awesome. The more kinds of those games, I'm celebrating because they're good now. It's not like the shitty old licensed games we got back in the day. So hell yeah, I'm all for it. But the conversation today has not been any of that. Conversation today has been, is it exclusive?
How Jeff Keighley needs to say Dinga very clearly.
Right. Yes, that too. Dinga. Yeah. that too, for sure. So that's been the conversation. Now, to be honest with you, it is strange, right? To see that big of an announcement and not have Xbox or Game Pass or whatever shown there, or like exclusive or any of that kind of stuff. But I believe there's reasons why. Now we can speculate on that, but I do feel like at the end of the day, this is an Xbox exclusive, and I feel like they're going to utilize this. One reason, if you guys remember, just recently, ZeniMax Bethesda. Who are they reporting to now? Who are they reporting? Who's ZeniMax Bethesda reporting to, guys?
Matt Booty.
Matt Booty, right? They are more or less a big branch of Xbox Game Studios now. Like, that's just more or less what it is. At the end of the day, nothing else fucking matters, right? Now, Fuzzy, you had said something on Twitter that really kind of stood out when you kind of hypothesized about some of the reasons. And your thinking in this might be right on the money, because what has been the most talked thing about today from numerous articles, numerous people on social media and all this stuff, the talk has been fucking Blade, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're kind of like, maybe you want to go ahead and say what your tweet was?
Yeah, if you notice, they recently hired the former editor-in-chief at IGN, Tina Amari, I believe her name is, or
Amini, yep.
Amini. And we've all talked about the Xbox tax and how IGN seems to revel in it, as far as always having that engagement and having it where certain things are trending, and it gets, those in the Xbox community to argue with them, and those in the PlayStation community to kind of, make fun of Xbox in those same conversations. So with her knowing that, or having that knowledge, working at IGN, maybe she's teaching Xbox. You should use that to your advantage. Don't list Xbox in there, even though anybody that's within the know, as far as like us and a lot of those that are enthusiasts in the community, or that are being honest with ourselves, know that it's an Xbox owned studio. So it's likely Xbox. There's cases and examples of that. But let's not put it there, because that always gives them that sense of doubt. The PlayStation guys will be like, oh, it could still come to the PS5. So it's like they'll keep talking about it and clamoring for it for the next 3, 4, 5 years, waiting until it's, inevitably not on their platform when it's said that it's exclusive. But that keeps that talk and that engagement trending on social media. And
it grows the hype for the game a little bit,
Exactly.
And so it's not downplayed and just dismissed for 4 or 5 years about, oh, we don't give a shit about this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so we could look at it and be like, hey, that's smart. Maybe it's not. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a marketing decision potentially, right? Which I found it very interesting, like you said that, Fuzz, because that if that was the reasoning, it's already working, right? Yeah. It's already working, But if it wasn't the reasoning, the other reason I could fathom would be just this nonsense that the FTC is still pushing forward and trying to utilize every little piece of thing they can try to do to claim that they'll try and make ABK games exclusive, all this kind of stuff, right? And all they have to show is like according to Florian Mueller, who I saw him posting about this the other day, was like, it's unfathomable to him, like what the FTC is trying to do, because they're just trying to say that all they have to do is show that it's a possibility that they could potentially want to make a game exclusive to like get that whole to get the new PI or whatever they're trying to get accomplished now, right? So maybe that's why potentially at this grand stage of things, something like that could have been potentially left out, right? And what do you think it is, Jasper? Do you think it's just Fuzzy?
I don't think
what Fuzzy said.
I think it's probably more like what Fuzzy said. Just try to get that engagement. I don't think it's an FTC thing, because like if FTC really wanted to know, they could just subpoena Microsoft for the information. Be like, are you planning on making this exclusive? Like,
right.
That would answer that question right then and there.
But they
so
could
it's
go
probably
like, it hasn't been decided yet. But unless they got the contract from Disney or whatever, like they did with the Indiana Jones, right? But like the Indiana Jones thing is like also kind of evidence of like, yeah, they're probably made this exclusive because they went and changed and restructured the whole agreement for that game to make it exclusive as well. So why wouldn't they do that for Blade?
Yeah, it's either just an engagement thing or just like maybe they were just didn't put on the end cap Xbox trailer. I have no idea. Maybe it was just overlooked or something. I have no idea. But I don't think it's a big conspiracy. Like, oh, we can't put it in there because the FTC is going to sue us or whatever. It's like that's not
right. So you're in line with Fuzz. I think Fuzz honestly makes most sense too. It is interesting to kind of like think about the other weird thing was like the Blade trailer isn't on Xbox's own YouTube channel. But it is obviously on Bethesda's, and I don't know what to make of that, like at all, or if anything whatsoever.
Could be a weird contract thing too with Disney. Like maybe they can only put it in certain places for right now or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? Pong, any insight?
I mean, I like Fuzzy's hypothesis. I saw Colt put out a similar hypothesis to earlier in the day, but I liked Fuzzy's follow up to it with Tina Amini. She's doing a fantastic job, by the way. And if there's one person that could bring to the table an idea like that, it would be her, coming from IGN, saying, "Hey, let's use the Xbox tax as a tax break. Let's make it a benefit, right? Let's try to flip it on its head and actually turn it into something positive for us." So I could definitely see that happen. My own personal thoughts are that potentially that this deal, the deal for the IP with Arkane Lyon was signed right before or right after. Again, we don't know for sure. Dinga kind of made it sound like it was right after Deathloop, which means it would have been after the acquisition. But maybe there is still some ironing out of the contract for exclusivity on the platform with Marvel. Maybe they are still trying to hammer out some numbers as far as what that will look like. I just can't ever imagine a world where they get exclusivity for Indiana Jones, but don't get exclusivity for Blade like that.
Yeah.
That to me makes zero fucking sense whatsoever. Whatever the reasons are, it does work in their favor in a lot of ways for what everybody's saying here. And Fuzzy's point, that engagement will be, again, we're going to get sick of it because this is going to be something in the community for the next 2-3 years whenever they finally decide to announce that it's exclusive.
Yeah, because we don't even know when the next time we're going to see this game, right? Like, it'll be 2 years before we ever see it again.
Right. He said, "Let us cook," right? Which usually means we're going to be dead silent for a while. This is going to be another one of those situations Mav, that you hate. It could be that too. It could be that too, Jasper. But this is going to be another one of those games that Mav says, "Just show me fucking something."
It will be, probably.
It will probably wind up being that way.
Decked out of Marvel right now. I want to see it now. I can't fucking wait.
But whatever the reason, they're doing the right thing, and we should point out, in fairness too, it's PlayStation didn't tweet it out either. Right? PlayStation didn't tweet it out. And Indiana Jones, when it was first teased, I went back and looked. Both Xbox and PlayStation tweeted it out on their channels about Indiana Jones. But now, obviously, that was prior to the deal being worked before they knew it was going to be exclusive. But PlayStation did. PlayStation didn't do that for OD, and they certainly didn't do it for Blade. So, that is the counterpoint to everybody saying, well, it's not on Xbox channels. Again, I like Fuzzy's idea. I want to believe that there is some of that genius inside using it, again, because if it came out as exclusive, what would we have right now? We would have the articles. Oh, Xbox taking another IP and making it exclusive from Bethesda. Even though we all know that's the case, we'd have those articles. But, the other side, that community, the fan base would already be dismissing the game, not talking about it. Blade sucks anyways, not a good character. Arkane sucks, not a good dev studio. And the talk would all be done except for the Xbox side, who would still be excited, right? So now you've got everybody engaged for however long you want to string people along. That question's going to remain out there. You're going to have articles being written for years to come. What about Blade? We still don't know. They're still declining to comment. This is a weird situation. Maybe it is coming to PS. They can play this for the long haul. So I think it's a good move if they are doing it on purpose. If there's some contractual stuff they're still fine tuning, great. Use it while it's still happening. Whatever the case may be, it is the talk of the town right now, one way or the other. So it's always good. Always good.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat is telling me that it is on the Xbox's YouTube channel.
I looked this
Trevor,
I looked
I don't see
this
it.
afternoon, early this afternoon. It's not on Xbox. Is it?
It's if
Where?
you go to Xbox and you go to Game Awards, it's under Game Awards.
Okay.
I wonder
I watched
what
it,
under
it
what?
was last night.
Oh, so they didn't put it up themselves. Did they just link the Game
No,
Awards
it was-
video?
It was Bethesda. It's under Bethesda, but it's on the game Xbox.
Well, it wasn't
It's on,
earlier
is it on
today.
Bethesda's channel or on Xbox's channel?
No, it's not. Hold on.
Xbox's channel, but it's
Underneath the
Bethesda's
Bethesda listings,
the
right?
actual video. It's like
Because
who owns. They linked it, but it's
Oh,
Bethesda.
yeah, you're right there. I see it. It's linked from Bethesda. Okay.
Yeah.
If you click out, see, I was clicking on videos and just going through their videos, but I see it. Like if you click on Game Awards 2023, it's share. Like I don't know how they do that, but I guess it's a playlist. So they linked
Yeah.
the Bethesda video that's on Bethesda's YouTube channel into their playlist. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they have it on the playlist, just not uploaded
It's-
directly.
yeah, they have it uploaded themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes, well, hey, fair enough. You know, count me as half wrong on that one, I guess, or whatever. But yeah, interesting. Never mind. So it's there. Like it at the end of the day, like for me, just personally, like I would love to see them do that, but at the end of the day, I know the one thing that matters to me the most is that I'm gonna be able to play fucking Blade in Game Pass.
Right.
So
As a gamer, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
If
as a gamer, like you look at the other nonsense and like how important it would be for Xbox to do that. I think 100% it makes way more sense for them to make Blade exclusive than not. Like for sure, business wise, all that kind of stuff. Like I think that's what's gonna happen. You know. So anyway, Psycho, thoughts on that, but also just impressions of what you think Blade could be, man. Because I know you're super comic nerd.
No, yeah, I think this is going to be like a really good game because they can play off with his sword and gunplay mechanics, kind of like Deadpool, like how he just goes. He could go there with his sword and then pull out his gun to finish him off with his, the special bullets that he has. So like with the movies, so there's a lot that they could play on in this game, that you can upgrade your ammo for certain vampires, for certain you have bosses and certain enemies, so you can play around with all that because he always had gadgets. So there's a lot that they are able to do with Blade.
Do we get the motorcycle? We get the motorcycle?
If it's an open world type game, I would love to see it. See the motorcycle. So you can have your base. You can upgrade your base. I would like to see because they what's his buddy's name?
Whistler.
The one that was Whistler that was helping him. He always had to take his injections, things like that. So there's a lot of core mechanics with Blade that people are not seeing because either they haven't watched the movies in a little while or got into the comic books. But Blade, from the talk of the Disney / Marvel representative last night, they were psyched with their pitch. Mm-hmm. That makes me very excited with what Blade can and could be. And just seeing like the art, like I love the art style. Like Fuzzy said it today on Boom Show. Arkane's art style to me is like the perfect for a comic book game, because their art style gives you that comic book-esque feel, but because you don't have to go super realistic with everything, it's like it's real. It's what would you say? You said it was like what Spider-Verse, I think it was, into the Spider-Verse style. So to see that art style with Blade and knowing all the gadgets and everything that possibly could be in this game, I'm fucking excited. I'm hyped as fuck. And like Fuzzy's actual his thought of why it didn't have Xbox on the logo on the title, end screen, splash screen, whatever it is. Only Xbox knows right now, and they have a good reason not to do it. But again, we didn't see exclusivity for Starfield until 6 months prior, almost launch, and and it took after a long time for Elder Scrolls 6 and Indiana Jones to come out that is exclusive.
So they never even told us yet for Indiana Jones. Like, we only got that because of leaked documents, right?
Correct.
So
that is correct. But
yeah.
that's the thing that people need to just squash this. Blade's going to be multi-plat, because guess what, people? Xbox owns Bethesda, and Bethesda's and Arkane Lyon is making this game, and it's exclusive. All I gotta say is, you want to play Blade, get an Xbox.
That's a good point too, though, bro. Because when they did announce Indiana Jones, right, they didn't mention any of that stuff either. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like, it was just kind of like a kind of casual announcement, like, in a way. Todd Howard had made that one, and
all the Bethesda games have been.
Was there a lot of? I mean, there was some speculation or conversation about will it be or not be, and that most of that was due to us not knowing when the deal was made and if they're going to change the contracts and all that kind of stuff, right? But that's what we found out about from the leaked documents now, so that's kind of like out of the questions. But we've already seen this kind of thing from them before, Blade, with Indiana Jones, right? So there's some reason they're doing that, and I don't know what it is. Maybe with Indiana Jones when they hadn't restructured the contract yet. Who knows there, right? But
I've been going back through some of the old just Bethesda trailers. It's weird. Like, some of the games they put the Xbox logo at the end, and some of them they don't. Like, it could just be a Bethesda thing where maybe it's so early or what. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Fucking who knows, man?
I don't know.
That's like the crazy thing is this so dominated the conversation for and we've been talking about it too because it's something everybody's talking about. But I honestly feel like I think all of us are in agreement that it's going to be exclusive. So it's a big deal. I'm actually really looking forward to Arkane and what they're going to do. Like Psycho was saying, Arkane could become like that studio that takes on these kind of different projects like this too. It'd be interesting to see. That
was my thing, Mav. No, that was my thing. That this Arkane Lyon is so good, and the fact that Dinga said that this was going to be an immersive sim, like Dishonored, right? That they are leaning into what they know best, except that they're going third person. But to Psycho's points, again, Blade is the perfect character for this studio with all of his gadgets and all that kind of stuff. And again, I know people in 2023, gamers like to see all the same stuff all the time. There's a big group of people who want to see Blade in a certain style, and there's going to be a certain group that doesn't like what they do with it art style wise. But I think if they make this their own, and from what I saw from that early trailer, and trust me, that's probably the only thing they've really worked on besides storyboarding and some of the basics of that they're getting in mechanic, just kind of the real pre-build stuff. Look to me like they understand the mission here. It's not Dishonored art style, right? It's not fully that style, which a lot of people don't like. They are taking it more in a almost combining Dishonored with a comic book style to it. And I think that could really create a unique situation. But my point to what you were just saying, Mav, is that we could find out that Arkane Lyon is the perfect studio to take more IP like this, right? If they decide that this works out for them and that this licensed IP road isn't so bad anymore, from Phil's point of view, and they want to continue down this road, they could become the Insomniac, right? They could have found their calling to take characters like this, put their twist on it, but because they're so good mechanically when it comes to gadgets, when it comes to creating atmosphere, when it comes to this immersive sims, giving people the freedom to tackle missions how they want to tackle them, which is something we always ask for, especially in superhero games. Let me do this how I want to do this, because superheroes don't always tackle every situation the same way. They could be the perfect studio for your characters like Spawn, for your characters like Punisher, for all these different characters that we've talked about in the past. we might have an Insomniac team forming right now underneath Arkane Lyon, and it would be a freaking boon for Xbox to have that. So I can't wait.
yeah.
I'm excited.
I could imagine there's gonna be some stealth elements to this game too.
Oh yes,
you
for
know,
sure.
which that
to.
makes me excited from from the character that's chosen for this, like the possibilities going there. Like, can imagine kind of like sneaking around.
I mean, you just have a lot of Dishonored abilities carry over. Pretty much, they all fit.
A lot of them do in some form or fashion. They
Yeah.
do. That's what I was saying, especially with like his gadgets and stuff.
Yeah.
Again, the third person is the biggest
Mhm.
change for
Change
them in
up,
there,
yeah.
right? And if they do throw in vehicles, that would obviously be a change too. I don't know if they've ever done a vehicle. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I'm
think. I don't think
curious if
so.
they're gonna
Yeah,
do the
no.
motorcycle or not. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so if they can do stuff like that, but yeah, no, this is perfect. This is a perfect IP. And I've heard people say, oh, Blade isn't that popular. It's not like a Spider-Man. Well, of course not. Of course not. It's not. But is Blade well freaking known? Yeah, because the original movies are considered some of the best comic book movies still to this day in that style, right? And that was before comic book movies were good, right? The Blade stands the test of time still. So I think that Blade has a chance. And of course, they're rebooting it now. So if that movie hits, if they do a good job with that, it's a perfect timing for a game like this because Blade is going to be in the minds of people. And all of a sudden the game drops and it's really, really freaking great. Man, you got an explosion of Blade popularity. I mean, it's going to be
sitting
awesome.
at 2.5 million views on the Marvel channel.
Yeah,
There you
nice. I mean, you think about it, like Guardians of the Galaxy used to not be popular. You know what I mean? Or like
No one even knew what that was until the movie came out.
right. Shang-Chi, right? Or like a lot of these characters are like less popular, but they had huge fucking movies that became popular. Ultimately, it matters how good the game is, right? And like, is the game going to be good? And Arkane Lyon is a great track record of making quality titles, right? Especially single player type games. And, you know, people point to Arkane in general. We brought that up from Arkane Austin, you know, who did Redfall. And like, that's them doing something completely, you know, multiplayer, like, you know, this open world thing, all this kind of stuff. And like, you can't really use that against Arkane Lyon in any kind of way. Plus also now, like with them being fully under Microsoft from early on in development of this, like I think this is gonna get a lot of support, like
Yes.
Oh yeah.
from the get go. You know, it's going to be an important title for them.
It'll also be interesting to see how Marvel like handles it. Like, are they going to connect it to the movie itself, or is it just going to be its own story, or how is that?
I
I
think
think it's gonna be a little bit.
I think it's going to be its own thing, and I hope it is. And here's why: because it gives the opportunity to expand upon that. Like,
Right.
you have the potential kind of for Arkane to get in their bag and kind of almost create their own universe. If Blade is a massive success, right? Okay, what's the next thing going to be? Like, do they keep going that route? Do they do a Blade 2, or do they go and like do another character and like kind of expand upon it? You know, like there's tons of potential out there, but we know now that like this is happening and that they wanted to take on this game. And that this is also something that is being supported by Microsoft. Like, and this is in the face of what Xbox was last generation when they were like, we don't want to really invest in IP that we don't own and stuff like that, right? And we talked about the potential with Game Pass and all these acquisitions and all these games that they have in development now. That kind of takes a like burden off of that aspect a little bit, because now you got ZeniMax Bethesda, you have Activision Blizzard King now. So yeah, they're investing in a crazy amount of IPs and titles that they own own the outright trademarks to and everything, right? But like now you give these developers a chance to go play in a different playground and like make something epic that has its own big fan base that you know is going to bring people in that may have not ever been interested in any of the games that you're already making, right? Like Marvel has a huge fan base, period, right? The MCU has a huge fan base, period, right? Blade will be coming out. Like Marvel today is astronomically bigger than it was like in the early 2000s. It's just like insanely huge, right? Yeah, you have your hits and misses sometimes with the movies and all that kind of stuff, but anything that comes out with Marvel attached to it now has a lot of eyes and attention on it. And that's going to be the same way for the next 10 years. Think about this too, right? Marvel right now has been kind of up and down with the movies and stuff the last couple years, right? But we're probably going to be getting this game kind of at the culmination of like the whole MCU,
The peak of this
phase and the saga, right? So I kind of have a feeling that they're going to be on a big high at the moment, and Marvel fandom and craze is going to be out there, and you're going to have an exclusive Blade game to drop into Xbox and be in Game Pass. People can play in all these different places. Man, they're going to be able to market the fuck out of this thing. Like it is going to be insanely huge because Blade will be a part of all of that shit that we're talking about. That will be in this into the saga and all that stuff. Like he's a
that's why I said I wonder if there's going to be a connection, because like with the MCU right now, like the Black Knight stuff, all that takes place in like Europe. So if Blade's going to take place in France in the game, like it's not too far a stretch that they can just like kind of interconnect that a little bit. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually we see Blade in America, at least we've in the past a lot. So it's kind of a different take.
I think they said this is in Paris.
It's in France. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and I was going to say to Jasper's question there that shows
And
that they're going to allow Arkane kind of do their thing if they're agreeing to allow Blade to show up in France for some reason, right? They obviously trust whatever Arkane pitched was that damn good. But you could be right, Jasper. There could be, but I think. Again, to me, since Arkane's already developing it the way they are, and they kind of already have their own twist on this character, I think they're going to try to make it their own, to Mav's point, so that they control that side of the IP to a certain degree, right? So that they have that.
Yeah, I completely agree.
That
that's like
version
the
of Blade
perfect
to work
route
in,
they
right?
should go. It is, I don't know if that's what they're doing.
Well, and
Go
the thing
ahead.
with the thing with Blade also is that one of his like teammates back it was Van Helsing. So you can have Van Helsing, because of course he's going to be in Europe as well. So you can introduce a lot, because you can introduce Dracula, Morbius, you can introduce Van Helsing with werewolves. So there's a lot of aspects that they can play with going into. So if they're making a Blade game and then decide to make another game like a Van Helsing or something, or somebody else makes a Van Helsing, they could play off with each other's universes and like incorporate, and they could like grow this into something big, where I think kind of like Spider-Man and Wolverine kind of is going with their Marvel, or how they're going to try and take the game. So Xbox could definitely do the same thing, but have it more play off in its own right, with having a Van Helsing, because he did Blade as a vampire hunter and Van Helsing is a demon hunter, so having a monster hunter, sorry. And so you can have a lot of that kind of like, there's just a lot the Xbox can do. So the possibilities is very endless, especially if they start off, if they craft it correctly. They could have an ongoing series, an ongoing franchise on their hands.
Yeah. Constantine would be pretty badass, right?
Yeah.
Constantine.
And they're coming out with they supposedly Keanu's down for. Aren't they working on one, or they're trying to come to agreement?
Another event. Yeah, it's Constantine too. I believe they're working out a script right now.
Working. Yeah. So no, I mean, number one is just make sure this game's right.
Yeah. 100%.
However long it takes, whatever you need to do, if it's 4 years, if it's 5 years, I don't care. Just make sure you get this right. Make sure it's 100% what your vision was. And if you need to roll into next gen with it to start out, fine. I don't care. Just make sure you get it right. So, and I think Arkane Lyon, the way that Dingo was talking about it, I mean, that's genuine passion for this IP. That is love for what they got themselves into here. And I think they are. So I have the utmost faith in that team. So,
yeah, right on me.
Just think if that's a launch title, man, that's a way to start off a generation.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, we've already talked about how they could start it out. It'd be crazy.
The thing is, they have so many games coming the next several years that it doesn't like, there's pressure is not on any of these studios to like, super like, well, we have to have a game next year. We're screwed if we don't. That was Xbox of old. Like this is, they got the pipeline fleshed out. So if it's 2027, 2028, 2029, I don't give a shit. There's gonna be plenty of stuff to play. Like, we got so many fucking games. All those games at the Game Awards that were shown, dude. Like between all the multiplats and first party games, and then if you add Nintendo and PlayStation into all this, it's like, who has the fucking time to play all this shit? I'm just celebrating that we're getting a fucking Blade game. It's absolutely amazing. It's something you didn't necessarily think you'd see, like them pick that character. You know what I mean? So I'm super happy, right? Like Cyberwulff earlier said with his 2-month member chat, said, guess those clouds helped Forza win, Pong.
The accessibility. The clouds helped with the accessibility. Is that what you're trying to say? There you go. No, the skybox did not help with that. That team did so much work. Again, anytime a gamer who is visually impaired to the point of being legally blind can drive a car in that kind of setting, that was an automatic win for me. I said it from the get-go that Forza had to win that one. That's unbelievable work in that field. So yeah, shout out to Turn 10 for what they did. But the skyboxes had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I heard it was that Forza Motorsport is so easy that it's like a kid's game. That's what I heard.
That's only depending on what accessibility features you have turned on. Like, Forza, it can be so fucking hard or it can be so fucking easy. Like, it just depends on what you want. It's a very versatile game. Still love it. And we just got more news recently of another Forza update. So
Hockenheim, the new track.
Yeah. Lots of stuff coming for Forza.
This is normal. Xbox's update list is stupid. It's crazy how many games they've got now that are updating with free content like monthly now. It's just like,
you just had to Overwatch, Call of Duty, and Halo all have an update on the same day.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's the thing. Maybe Sony's finally learning. They're doing free DLC now.
Yeah. They're adding they're adding. Guess what the new buzzword around Sony is? Roguelite. We're going to add roguelite to everything. That's what we're going to do now. We're just going to add roguelite, free DLC. We're going to slowly introduce our fan base to multiplayer. They can all co-op roguelite versions. Let's go.
The funniest roguelike I heard so far on Twitter was GT7 roguelite.
Oh my God.
They did
funny as hell.
Man, they really took their time to really think of a really unique name for that DLC add-on for God of War. But God of War Ragnarok, what could we possibly call?
Nobody's ever done Valhalla. Nobody.
Valhalla. Yeah, let's. It's the most obvious possible thing. Anyway, man. Besides Blade, which you can now tell we're really fucking excited about. Hellblade 2 finally showed up in a different way this time because the gameplay was there.
No, the combat specifically was there. So now everybody can shut the F up about the combat, please. And thank you very much. I don't know why you all didn't think Ninja Theory COG was going to ever show combat or that they would deliver with combat. Now everybody can shut up. Ninja Theory knows what the hell they're doing, everybody.
Yeah. And they showed up big time, bro, because that trailer was knuckin' futz, man. It really was. I mean, the graphics, the gore, the horror-esque like elements to it, the music, everything in that trailer was just on point, dude. Like, and yeah, they showed that combat gameplay that everybody's been crying about and wanting to see for so long. And they showed it at the big stage where they should have at a big stage, right? So we got to see it. Overall impressions of Hellblade 2, guys. I mean, it's so mind-blowing. Some people don't believe it's fucking real.
Yeah, I was told it was last gen dog trash. That it was all this other. I'm like, oh, whatever, guys. I'm like, that game is the most graphical heavy game that I've seen on console to date. There has not been anything that came close to what we're gonna get. And then that was shown on the Series X. That wasn't a pre-rendered. That wasn't running on PC. That was running on the Series X. And that was insane. And the battle scene, I don't care. Like, even if the executions or a QTE event to do an execution, that's fine. If I can just do normal combat, and then I can do, it's kind of like what is it? Rise, Son of Rome. You can fight, and then there's QTE event when you had either to dismember or if you're getting attacked, being flanked. It's fine if it doesn't go into a heavy QTE event, and it's just for like I said, just for like dismemberment or being flanked. I'm fine with that. That showed that it has evolved from what the original Hellblade game was, and now it's something that looks and it's going to be a very special game, and it's something that a lot of people has complained that's not been on Xbox. Is it now they can't say Xbox doesn't have this type of game, and because here it is.
Yeah, that's.
They still will.
I think a lot of what we saw in the trailer, from like the axe to the head and all those things, is just the finishers of like the enemies like being finished off with the animation, like, and that's not anything different from any fucking game that has combat these days. It's like they add that level of flash. Literally, Spider-Man has the same kind of thing going on in it, and like God of War does.
Horizon.
And
Horizon's got that whole cinematic that she has.
Yeah, like at the end when you finish the last enemy or whatever, they go to usually like a special kind of like theatrical kind of animation there to like drive it home of you fucking like chopping a head off or like putting a knife through an eye or something, just like, oh shit, that was badass, right? Like, and we saw some of those in there. Like, it's not really any fucking surprise. That was, I think, in the first game too. Like, so why would that be any different? I don't understand any of the people talking or having kind of any kind of controversy about that. It's like strange.
We're back to people talking, Mav, about we're back to that conversation we just had. What the game isn't instead of what it is, right? That's what we're back to again. This is the discourse nowadays is, oh, I wish it was this way. Oh, I wish Ninja Theory would have done more. Oh, I'm not seeing enough. They need to elevate the combat. Again, people, I don't know why you want these devs to reinvent the wheel when you guys clamor for the same shit over and over and over and over again all the damn time. And all of a sudden, when it's not a dev or not a studio that's a part of your favorite ecosystem, all of a sudden they've got to change everything they do and become something completely different. Ninja Theory is elevating their entire game from the first one. Every single level that we so far can see and hear and experience without playing the game is showing you that Ninja Theory has taken the resources that Xbox and Microsoft have provided them and gone to work and said, we are going to take what we did with the first Hellblade and we're going to raise it 3, 5, 10 bars above where we were with the first game. And this game is going to be that much more. Again, there's some stuff that we can't experience until we actually get our hands on a controller, right? There's some things you just can't. But what we're seeing in these trailers is exactly the evolution of Hellblade and of Ninja Theory. And again, the bar is going to be raised to a point that I don't know how many studios are going to be able to match it. Well, I think Coalition's got a chance from what we're hearing about Unreal 5 and about what they're doing with Gears 6. But this is what we thought Ninja Theory was going to bring to the table. No, they're not going to reinvent the wheel. They're going to expand upon what they already were masters of, and they're going to refine and make better everything that they didn't have a chance to because they didn't have the budget. They didn't have the big team. They didn't have the state-of-the-art studio that they do now. That's exactly what's going to happen here because that's what made Hellblade so great in the first place. This story is expanding. I don't know if you guys all caught this, but going back and rewatching a couple times in 4K, there's an introduction in this trailer that they showed of a major NPC, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That dude that's with her.
The male character, yeah.
Yeah, the male character that looks like he's got a lot of similarities to her in a lot of different ways.
I thought it was like, remember the first game she's carrying around the guy's head? It looked like that head to me. I don't know.
It could be, but it looks like he's not just a figment of her imagination. He's not just one of the voices, or if he is one of the voices, he's become real in some manner because he's protecting her in that scene in this trailer. He's in the front of her while they're backing up, but he's got point of whatever is coming after them. And I think that was a major kind of introduction there for another character to this story. It's not just going to be Senua constantly, right? I think we're going to have a more fleshed out story here, not just her and her voices. That's still going to be a major deal, but I think she's gained control over some of those voices. I've said this from the beginning, from the first trailers we saw. I think that's going to be the arc here, is that she's learning how to deal with these voices, how to control them, and maybe getting some power out of that and learning to use them to her advantage. And I think that this gentleman, whoever he is that was introduced in this trailer, definitely is a part of that. And I think that this is going to definitely be a much bigger story. The first one was very personalized. I think it's going to be much more world shaking in this story. I think she's going to have effects on the world around her more than just her personal battle with the voices. So I think there was a lot here, but Ninja Theory is showing up and showing out, man. Again, I know we got sick and tired of the other trailers, but my God, again, if you just look at this from a technical aspect, if you just look at it, appreciating the art form that they're giving us in each one of these trailers, you can't help but be impressed unless you're on the big, just terrible fanboy side of things and you can't admit when anything is good, because this looks phenomenal. This is going to be Ninja Theory's high water mark right here, and probably Xbox's high water mark too for a while.
Between that and another game we're going to talk about a little bit, like pushing the graphics level, like of this generation, like is there anything like has shown off better than Hellblade 2 so far? And also the other game we'll talk about later. Like I don't think so. I think these are like setting a new bar, right? It's interesting.
People said there was downgrades.
Okay.
From the first one.
From
there was legitimately people
from the
saying that this looked worse than the first one.
The first game?
Yes.
What?
That they were hiding the graphics because there was more fog in this one. I'm not joking.
Are you fucking kidding me?
This is the fucking level, bro. This is where we're at.
These people just don't know shit. They could just go fuck off. Like like ultimately, like if you want to actually like have a legitimate conversation, or like you have little nitpicks or complaints, but these people just like are just complaining just for the sake of it because they don't actually want to see them succeed. Right? Or don't want to see Xbox succeed or whatever. And like, they don't fucking need you. You know, go play with your little box and wherever the fuck you want. Go lock yourself in a closet and live your life in a miserable piece of shit and then wish you had other things that you don't have and complain about the things that you don't have, or that you think everybody should play the same kind of shit that you like. Who gives a fuck about what you think? Like, nobody fucking cares about what your opinions are. Xbox doesn't care about what your opinions are. You're fucking useless. Fucking worthless pieces of shit that don't know anything about anything other than just fucking being able to complain about stuff that absolutely has no fucking meaning to anybody listening. Literally everybody on this panel has opinions that honestly are better than anything these people could fucking ever possibly fathom. Our shits have better opinions than you can take. Okay? Like literally, you don't fucking matter with the nonsense spew shit just comes out of your mouth about nothing. You don't fucking know anything. Like, it's just, these people are so annoying, dude. I'm sick of seeing so much negativity, bro, about just like nonsensical stuff that just doesn't make any fucking sense. Xbox doesn't fucking need you. They don't give a shit if you don't like what they have, because other people do, and they got plenty of people playing their fucking games. If you don't like it, go fuck off. Who cares? Like, literally. God, it's fucking dumbass.
They have audiences that cheer them on, which is the scary part.
Oh my God, I just don't get it. Like, they really just fucking like are useless, miserable human beings that just fucking gonna die alone. I don't fucking... Anyway,
People are blaming me for putting you on a rant, a bad rant. Jesus.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about them. I mean, just like if you lived your life just spewing negative nonsense because of something is not necessarily for you, or like you don't, you want to see it fail, or you want to see like other people not get enjoyment out of it because your own personal issues or whatever. Like fucking leave that shit. Like go be a miserable asshole to yourself, right? Like don't spread that stuff out to everybody else. Nobody else wants to be miserable like you, piece of shit. Like just let everybody enjoy. Let everybody enjoy the awesomeness that we have.
Nope.
You guys suck. You suck ass. Anyway, Jasper, what'd you think of Hellblade 2, bro?
Yeah, so the first one I could never get into. So I really don't have an interest in this one, but it doesn't mean it doesn't look good or there's not great audio design within the game or whatever. Like I can appreciate those aspects of it, but again, Hellblade's just not my cup of tea. So
Yeah.
Shocking.
that's kind of where I'm at.
I'm so surprised. I'm surprised you're not just constantly shitting on it on Twitter, complaining about though that it looks like a downgrade, or you know,
It's probably one
those-
of Jasper's alt accounts that's doing it.
man. Anyway, what about you, Fuzz?
First, I gotta say, shout out to Colin Moriarty for asking why would you buy Ninja Theory.
Yeah.
I think now he has his answer. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe
It doesn't make sense. Fuzz.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, for those that were analyzing the those 3 frames of where it looks like it's just a cinematic, play the actual first game and notice how when you make contact with enemies, how it has like that glitch effect, and depending on if you had your super built up or not, they went flying or they would just go falling back kind of thing. It's along the same line. So they've taken some of the same combat interactions from the first one and they've expanded on it. Having dual wielding axes is amazing. The fact that you can leave the axe in the dude's face, I'm all for it. Like hack and slash, the way they've improved the combat and the finishers and things like that, I'm all for it. I'm glad they showed what they showed. The fact that they started with a song, like typically the music awards, the video game awards only do songs relating to either nominees or games that are already out. But the fact that they went from that song into the gameplay, and it was like a smooth transition, and they continued that song throughout the gameplay or at points of the gameplay was amazing. So it's like we got to see it probably for the final time pre-release, and the next time we'll see it is when it's probably up for a game of the year type of deal. But overall, everything we saw, as far as from my standpoint, was just a continued improvement on all of the visuals. And now we had the combat because, hey, they do listen to what the fans and sometimes the non-fans request, and they showed up and showed out as far as for that combat. And I'm pleased with what I saw. I can't wait to get my hands on the controller to actually play it. But yeah, the only if I'm going to nitpick anything, is it's at the end that it said 2024 and not when the developer direct or the deep dive is. But the fact that we're getting it next year, we already knew next year was going to be a stacked year, and the fact that it's going to be mixed in there, I'm all for it. But yeah, I don't understand the complaints. It's like, you're right about the whole thing with the suitcase of money. They would be complaining about the suitcase, or you give them a plane ticket around the world or a trip around the world type of thing, and they'd complain about the weather or the fact that they didn't get the airplane meal or something like that. Like, seriously, there's so much to be looking forward to as far as some of these games that were shown last night, and with Hellblade 2. I like Pong's theory as far as like the one guy that was shown. Like I was trying to figure out if it's going to be like if it was the boyfriend from before that she was carrying his head around, or whatever the case is. There's going to be more interaction with other characters in this next game, and the fact that you can dispel your enemies in many different ways, and we've seen a variety of different sized bosses in other clips and things. This thing is probably going to have a lot of people on edge. It's going to have a lot of jaws dropping while playing. And all I can say is this is that hashtag just one that a lot of people have been asking for. And I think it's going to outdo a lot of the just ones that are in other categories or on other platforms, just from a visual standpoint. And we'll see what the story entails this time around. But the first one story, I was entirely engaged with that story on the first one. So I'm looking forward to see what they do with this one. But yeah, it's it's a bunch of nonsense and noise out there that it's like you could tell they're intentionally trying to rationalize why they don't have. Yeah, it's like, oh well, it's a downgrade from the first one. Like, do you have Vaseline on your eyes? I mean, did you just wake up and not?
They got Vaseline somewhere, probably.
Did you play Star Wars? I mean, that had Vaseline all over it.
Yeah, that did. That one is legitimate for me. It was a downgrade over the first one, but like, fuck, man.
But yeah, yeah. Just everybody look forward to the developer direct. I'm guessing sometime late January, early February. Yep. If we get it first quarter, amazing. If we get it like towards like third or fourth quarter, I'm fine with that too. I can't wait to play that game. I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, literally, that to that point, it's like so much of the conversation today is, but there wasn't a fucking release date. Ryan McCaffrey or some, I forget who, was it him or whatever? Yeah. I mean, come on. Really? This is at the Game Awards, whatever. Okay. We have several more opportunities to get a fucking release date. Right now, we just got the 2024 on there. Like, why do they have to announce a release date? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand.
Didn't everybody just get done? Didn't we all get done? We did here. Why give release dates when they can move? Again, why do you want another Redfall fucking Starfield situation? Why? No, if they're not ready to give a date, then don't give a damn date. We just got them telling them that. Why would you want them to put a date on and then say, oh, oops, sorry.
No, delay.
Needs another 3 months.
One of those dumbass fucking like things on Twitter where they, you know, in the message from Ninja Theory. Oh, hey, we appreciate all your support and know that you are really excited for Hellblade 2, but we regret to inform you that it has been pushed back. No, we should be
Give us the release date when you're ready.
It's 2024.
God, damn.
2024.
Yes,
let them cook.
We all would love a release date. Don't get me wrong, but not until they're freaking ready and they know for a fact that they're going to hit that date. We just went through this.
Are you
don't want it again?
Are you struggling to find games to play right now? Like who as a gamer right now is struggling to find shit to play? Like, well, I just wish I had something to play. Nothing really came out. What? No, it's fucking crazy. 2023 was insane.
Maybe an Ouya fan.
2024 was fucking insane. It's going to be insane. There's so many damn games. Like, we can wait for them to give the release date when they're ready at either a Dev Direct, which we'll probably know they're going to have one for Hellblade 2, right?
Correct.
In the summer showcase, if it's later in the year, maybe we'll get it at the summer showcase. Who knows, right? I think there's enough to feel like in January, February, we're going to have a Dev Direct because, you know, they have one big game a quarter and, you know, we don't know what the big game is coming up early for 2024. So we're going to find some release dates for something soon and probably at a Dev Direct, right? And it was interesting what they showed too, because, you know, they had Hellblade 2, which is sooner, right? And then 2 games that are further away, you know, and besides Jasper, I think most here are excited for Hellblade, but thank you, Jasper, for, you know, you don't have much to say on it because it doesn't interest you that much, but instead of, you know, going around and trying to shit talk and tell everybody else that it sucks ass, you know, you're a reasonable human being and it's just like, well, I don't really care too much about it, so I'm not going to have much to say about it, right? Seems like a lot of people have a lot to say about shit they don't care about. Really does. And really interesting. But we have another game, and I know you're probably not going to give a shit about this one either. I know the games you like to play, right? Real quick, Bold Alpha Wolfpack hit us with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Bold Alpha. Says, I agree, Pong. I'm tired of playing games. I love hearing about what was cut from the game to honor the release date. Yeah.
Sick of delays.
Yeah.
Sick of hearing all what we couldn't fit in because we needed to get it out the door. Microsoft, Xbox has a luxury now. Why people like Ryan McCaffrey don't understand these simple concepts that have been explained to them time and time again. Ryan, come listen to our shows. Go back and listen to our shows for the past 2-3 years. Maybe you can gain some knowledge about what's going on here. I know you think you're above us, but guess what? We've been spot on with so many damn things. How do you not understand the fact that Xbox now has flexibility? Matt Booty has talked about this too. Their roadmap, they are going to put out at least one per quarter. That is now set in stone. They have the ability to do that. Phil has confirmed it. Booty has confirmed that. Where those games hit don't matter as long as they have a game in that slot. If one game needs a little bit more time, they now have the flexibility of taking a game that maybe is ready and moving it around and moving it back and into that slot. That's the flexibility they have. Why tie themselves in to release dates before they have to? Why do that? Just so you can promote a date? Who the fuck cares? 2024 is 2024. It's coming. Okay. We're going to get at least 4 games next year. We know that. We're going to get at least 4 games next year.
Yeah.
Be happy. Who cares where they're at?
And it honestly, with all the updates they keep doing with all these other fucking games, it's like insane. There's so much stuff to play. Like literally, you could have like only 2 big releases, and you're still fucking full of shit to play next year. I mean, it's just insane. But yeah, they got 4, and they've been reiterating time and time again. Phil Spencer himself reiterating how confident they are, and they know they have the next 3 years lined up. Right?
Yes.
Like that. Why would they keep saying that? Just to blow smoke? No, because they actually got the goods, and they're showing it. That's why they're showing 3 announcements at the Game Awards. That's more games, big games that they've ever shown at the Game Awards, right?
Right.
They usually have like 1 big game and maybe some other stuff or whatever, or maybe 2. But yeah, they brought it. They brought it. They got fucking Kojima on stage talking about Xbox.
Oh, is that our next game? We're gonna fuck that. I don't care about that guy. He makes shitty games.
I know you don't like. I know you don't like Kojima games, whatever. So yeah, it's gonna be the next one. But real quick, guy, Jigga J with the $5 super chat says, so Sony orchestrated their own demise, and now Dark Phil has arisen along with evil Lynn Sarah. Xbox ain't nothing to fuck with. Yeah, they definitely aren't right now. I mean, they think
control their destiny, man.
Sony kind of fucked around and found out, and people aren't the whole Xbox has no games. So, oh, that's dead. It's fucking dead. It died in 2023, right?
Yep.
Officially, like this year was insane. Well, yeah, but 2022 hurt them a little bit back with that narrative again. You know, they started coming back around. They were able to start kind of, I think he meant to say Sarah Bond, Don. They started, spreading that again in 2022, and like we criticized Xbox for 2022, and just like we criticized PlayStation for 2023. But that's done. It's gone. It's done. Like 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027. Pick the fucking year. They're all in. I mean, we got tons of shit to play. They got ABK now. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, holy crap, right? I mean, we have so much content coming. But yeah, this other game, this little game made this little developer, you may have heard of him, right? This Hideo Kojima,
Who's that?
Jeff Keighley brings him out on stage, and it's like, what is it going to be? Is it going to be Death Stranding 2? Or is they gonna finally talk about Xbox's Overdose game, right? They brought him up, came on stage, walked through the PT looking door, whatever, was interesting. And then showed this trailer talking about crabs and ducks and giraffes and whatever. I don't know what the hell they were saying.
The purple dinosaur.
Purple dinosaur walked the muddy crab up the river and shat on its head. I don't know what the hell they kept saying. Like I feel like it was like the telephone game. The first person said something, the second person had to repeat it, but they changed it, then the third person had to say it again, right? And
I feel like they're being tortured and being forced to say stuff.
You think so?
To repeat. Yeah, the look on it, they were stressed out. We can get into it because again, even though I have zero interest in this game because it's a horror game, I'm never going to touch this game, but I love the experimentation that Kojima does. But yeah, that's what it looked like to me. They were like being forced.
Now everyone gives shit to Paul because he just said he had no interest in the fucking amazing game that everyone showed.
But I'm going to talk about it positive because I love what Kojima does, and I've said this from the beginning. Whatever he does, listen, we'll get into it.
Yeah. So Pong's not a horror fan. Jasper's not a Kojima fan, right? Did you ever play PT, Jasper?
No, I didn't have a PlayStation, so
I did.
Okay. That PT demo was fucking insane. Like it was
I literally made it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes, and that was me creeping down. I think I got into the bathroom, I think there was a tiled room, a bathroom, like a small room, and that was it.
Mhm.
Because I walked out and Shadow was at the end of the hall. I was like, I'm done. No, we're shutting this off. And I deleted it, which I was pissed about. Because had I not deleted it, I could have sold my PS3 for a whole hell of a lot, or my PS4 for a hell of a lot more money.
Yeah. So that demo, like me and Kate played together, and we had a blast, like trying to figure out the stuff, trying to make stuff happen, and it was literally like intense and kind of like that nerve-wracking feeling the whole time you're playing, right? But they revealed this trailer, and really, they didn't really give any of the game away.
No, sir, you're right. We have no idea what this game is.
We have no idea.
This is going to be part of the discussion for years, what this game's going to be.
for real. So
yeah.
What I wanted to do is have some fun speculation about what the fuck is this game, because what we saw was those 3 people, that looked real. I thought they were real people at first, but no, those weren't real fucking people. Those were from metahuman faces from an Unreal 5. Like Kojima does it again, fooling us with the graphics. It's absolutely insane. And they were kind of doing the saying that they're doing this riddle saying rhyme thing, whatever the phrase is. They're saying a phrase, and each one was slightly different than the other. And their faces, you could tell that like Pong said, they're kind of like stressed or whatever, or kind of. And then the girl screams just randomly, like, whoa, hey.
Well, the door opens in her eye, right?
Yeah.
You can see the door. That's the PT door or whatever door it was, open in her eye. And before that, if you go back and watch it, because I watched it in 4K a couple times too, if you look in their eyes, there is something moving. It's a bunch of lights in front of their eyes, but as they're speaking, there's things that are happening in their eyes. And so that's what's kind of...
There are 4 lights.
So, then Kojima brought out Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Then Kojima talked about they were collaborating for this, and also talked about there would be more collaborations with other people.
Got to shout out Cog for saying the checks have cleared, and the checks are quite large. This is a big money game, whatever this is going to be.
Jordan Peele is like one of the top directors right now. I mean, he's just on top of the game, and like people really look forward to his movies. And I know Kojima is a fan of his. He was the first guest on Kojima's podcast. And so, Kojima has a fascination with horror, right? So does Jordan Peele, right? Mm-hmm. The trailer kind of gave horror vibes. So, and then I think back to a conversation we had a couple of years ago, Pong, about what Kojima could see potentially in the value of something like a Game Pass, right?
Correct.
And that was the potential to be able to kind of dive in and tell different kinds of stories maybe more frequently and more versatile, more variety and all these kind of things. Because at his heart, he's a storyteller. He's a creative, like a pure creative to the max, right?
He's a movie maker who happens to make games, like he's explained on stage last night.
Yeah.
That's what he is. And Peele supposedly is a game player who wound up making movies. So that's why they fit together. That's what they said last night. Yeah.
So, I think about the tease, Jordan Peele's collaborating, and then other collaborations are going to happen. And I think about what we had talked about before with being like, hey, maybe they could do like, maybe episodic or like, smaller experiences released more frequently once they get the pipeline going. And I feel like that's maybe what this project is going to be. I feel like this potentially is going to be like a Tales from the Crypt, or like a what's the other, Twilight Zone, right? Or what's Black Mirror is the most recent
Jordan
one, right?
Peele, he did the new Twilight Zone on CBS or whatever a few years ago.
Yeah, did he?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
yeah, Twilight Zone, Black Mirror, all those kinds of spot on.
So you talk about like, this story will be self-secluded, right? Live in a grander world where they tell stories, and then have this amazing, like shorter, maybe like 4 or 5 hour experience or whatever. And then you do it again, like a year later or whatever, with something else. And he's working on all these different projects and everything. You could potentially see something like that happening here, and that would allow for those creative juices to flow with Kojima. So that's what we talked about in the past. And maybe this is what's actually happening now with those. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think?
The episodic thing's interesting. I don't know if it's that, because with the power of the cloud, like you could change the game to adapt to whatever is happening within the game itself from other users. So I don't know if it's going to be necessarily that or what. But just breaking down the OD title, like it seems like these people are in like an asylum or some type of thing. So like maybe there's some like experimental drug that causes them all to say the same thing that they've overdosed on. And they start hallucinating or whatever, and then when the doctor comes in, it like freaks them out or something. I don't know. It's just like,
like a psychedelic thing.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, Psycho?
Yeah, so I was saying on Boom Show, this today is that, you know, Kojima came out of the PT door, so this could maybe be linked in some kind of like a spiritual successor, or kind of in the same universe of being like whatever. Because I didn't play PT, but it could be something along the same lines of what that was. But now seeing Jordan Peele talking about it and having his like maybe
What?
directing the
His
story.
dick.
Directing,
having
goddammit.
Jordan Peele's dick, and it's going to be pretty big for Overdose.
Yeah. So and possibly other directors, maybe like a Stephen King, or maybe like someone that has like that Alfred Hitchcock. I'm gonna smack Jasper. And just have like great ideas.
Yeah. I like how you just like summed it up as like, yeah, man.
You
No.
couldn't think of any more directors' dicks. So
No, I agree, man. It's like I think it's gonna be interesting. Like I don't know how you do multiple collaborations without doing something episodic. That's where my mind's kind of going there. Like,
unlike what Jasper said, right?
The
episodes could evolve in real time as people add, like the different collaborators add their own
like add-on content, like
spin to it, right? It could evolve in real time over the cloud. We can't lose sight of Kojima's original conversations about this game. Remember, this is a game that he started thinking about. You can go find interviews from about 6-7 years ago, I think it is now, 8 years ago, where he first talked about this vision of this game. And he's on this kick. We can't leave out Death Stranding because he's now on this kick where he wants to connect people from all over the world. Right. And that's his big thing, is connections, right? For people. And his original idea was that he needed tech like the cloud that were going to allow him to connect people from all over the world to one experience and have that experience evolve throughout that process for different people, but having people interact with it wherever they were, whether it was cell phone or TV or console or PC. He wanted that connectivity, and that's what Xbox gives him, right? That's what Microsoft gives him now. And that's what he planned on doing with Stadia, but now he's got Azure behind him, so he's got even more. But I think there's something that could evolve. I think to me, and I'll just kind of continue my thought from what I said originally, this is some kind of, whether it's they're using drugs like Jasper suggested, this is some kind of psychological horror experiment. This could be along the lines of MK Ultra from the CIA days. And what they did, and they could be forcing people to, experience horrific things, which in turn evolves them psychologically to do what whoever it is wants them to do. This could be something like that. And we could have like Jordan Peele's addition to it, where it kind of shifts the experiment. We could have Guillermo del Toro come in and do his kind of fantasy or some kind of crazy, psychological addition to this that evolves these people even more. That's, again, we're in speculation town. We have zero idea, but when they talk about this being a movie/game, but yes, it's a game.
They're calling it a new kind of media, really.
Media. And so I think then where we come in as players, where the players come in, could be that they are trying to unlock some of these, some of the mind games that are being done within these people, maybe trying to unlock it. And maybe it's a collaborative effort amongst people all over the world where they're trying to solve different things, what's going on here. And maybe that opens up new doors to something else. Like
that would be
I'm
like
thinking
kind
big.
of, that'd be kind of PT like, because he did some kind of interesting stuff with PT that was focused. I think if I remember right, there was like certain things that happened in PT when like it depended on other people doing things too, but you did not necessarily like up to you, if I remember right whatsoever. I think there was some community like aspect to, once so many people did something, then it became like possible for more. I can't remember exactly what that was, but maybe I'm mistaken.
Along the lines of the MK Ultra thing, there was also like the government experimented on people with like remote viewing, where they would get like psychics all in a room or whatever, and then like try to have them like see stuff that was happening in Russia and like steal codes through like people's minds or some shit.
Right, it's legit, and they actually taught people how to do it, right? And it turned out that you can do it. Remote viewing is a real thing. So yeah, Jasper, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe he got his influence not just from straight up horror, right? But the psychological side of things, maybe he looked into that stuff and is going to bring some of that into it, because there's a lot of that stuff, right? There's been a ton of experiments, horrific experiments throughout history done by different factions, different people that have produced crazy, wild things, right? So I think that, again, just knowing Kojima and how he's trying to do this, and then getting like brains like Jordan Peele into it to contribute to that, to try to bring it in a different, I think that's what we're might be seeing. I think it's a concept. It's a concept.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to, I mean, when do we think this is coming out to? I mean, we're still, I think, two things that are probably going to be further away, right? Like, not for till 2025 at the earliest.
OD. Again, it depends if it's
years.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because
Fuzz,
like if you look at if you look at Death
Mm.
Stranding, when he first showed like the little I forget what they referred to it, but it was like the bottle baby or whatever you want to call it, and the guy what's his name was running through like the field or the tar and stuff. Death Stranding came out within 2 years of that. Like I thought that was like an impossibility, because usually it's like, well, you show a little bit of CGI and it's 4 years later you get the game. I think Death Stranding came out in 2, so I think this is probably 2025, late 2025, maybe early 2026, if not sooner, because he typically doesn't start showing stuff until it's not too far off.
And if this is something episodic that they're building on the fly, or that they're changing on the fly, that certainly could speed up time. To, if he gets the whole concept down and it's working the way that he wants it to, and they've got the cloud involved in whatever they're doing there and the connectivity, then yeah, episodic wise, he could release it sooner because it'll be smaller. And then it doesn't matter when the next he's probably going to roadmap it out, how long in between each new segment's introduced or whatever the case may be. But yeah,
maybe it could be a thing where like, however many users, like whatever the total number, like say like 80% of the users get the exact same ending, like maybe then the next director picks up off that ending and continues the story that way.
Correct. Right. Perfect. That's what I was saying. Like enough people get together, solve something, the door opens up and you're into the next experiment or whatever the hell it is, right, that they're going to do. That would be a cool idea, Jasper. I like it. Call up Kojima and see if he's doing it.
Bold Alpha Wolfpack with a $5 super chat says Jasper's on fire with these narrative themes. Yeah, we can give Jasper credit every once in a while.
We pulled Jasper out. He doesn't care about Kojima. He doesn't like Kojima.
Yeah,
but
he's got to think like
ideas.
a crazy person,
right.
and that's
correct. Things that don't make sense, right?
Yeah, it was a big game shown again. So 3 big games, like crazy.
And Mav, we talked about this when it was originally rumored that Kojima was coming on board after Stadia's demise and all that kind of stuff, right? We talked about this. This, no matter what you think, if you're in Jasper's camp and you could care freaking less about Kojima and you think he's overrated, all that kind of stuff, his name draws and his name has power no matter what you want to believe. Again, we can argue all day long about how much there is. Anything attached to Kojima draws attention. And we said this from the beginning. If Xbox is going to push this cloud development and is going to push expansion into the cloud and using cloud to create games, and they wanted to get somebody to push the tech or to try some crazy ideas that nobody's thought of before, there's no better person than Kojima to do something like this, to give that proof that this stuff works, and that that other developers, while they might not have wild, ridiculous ideas like Kojima, can use cloud development or use the cloud in different ways to connect their games. Kojima gives it legitimacy if he can pull this off. And I think that's exactly what this is going to do. Not to mention the fact that after that trailer, I got to say, MetaHuman just got a little bit more legitimate too, because like you said, Matt, when it first flashed on the screen, it didn't take me long, but when it first flashed, I was like, oh, we got live FMV going on. Okay, Kojima, this is how we're going to do it. And then I was like, no, wait, no. But the eyes were so damn good on those characters. You know, he just brings that because he tries to push the boundaries in different directions. Even if you don't like it, even if you can't appreciate it, you got to understand that he's pushing boundaries that other devs aren't going to try because it's way too risky for everybody else. Kojima tries different things, and I think that's a huge get. I said that from the beginning for Xbox to have him doing this type of game, whether it turns out to be successful or whether it turns out to be one of those niche titles that only Kojima super fans really enjoy. It doesn't matter. This is a big W for Xbox to have him doing something like this with them.
Yeah. What if it like takes our faces and puts them as the characters in the game, like metahumans our faces, and like we're the ones talking about the crabs and shit, you know? Like
you get transported in.
Right.
That'd be goofy, man.
Yeah.
But again, who knows?
11180.
Right.
You got to recite these lines, and oh man, that would be awesome.
Yeah. What if it's like a massive game of telephone? Like between like millions of people, and like
if you get it wrong,
you're out.
Something crazy happens.
Yeah, it's something crazy, jump scare.
Do you think that would be a problem though? If people would be like, "He's using my face in a video game. I didn't want to consent to this."
Yeah.
There would be a lot of that for sure.
Yeah. Well, man, huge showings from 3 different Xbox studios. Ninja Theory showed up. Or not, Kojima's an Xbox studio, but, you know, Xbox Game Studios is on the fucking trailer, right? And also, what was the other one again?
Arkane.
Yeah, Blade, fuck. I said, duh. It's Blade. Man, what a big showing there. Now, they came away with a couple of awards to Forza Motorsport for accessibility. Hi-Fi Rush got, did they get?
Sound, right?
Was it audio design? I feel like audio design, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that the only 2 they got?
3.
There was 3. Forza,
they
got best racing game also, right? So 3 awards for Xbox. How many awards did PlayStation come up with at the Game Awards?
0.
What?
Well, let's count Final Fantasy, right?
That's not published.
Oh, that's Square.
I know, it's Square. but
somebody had
the ponies will tell you that's first party.
Yeah.
So.
Somebody made a 007 for Spider-Man today. He was like, was it 0 wins, 0?
Oh yeah, they did get their
and 7 nominations.
Nominations. Yeah.
Sony did get 1 award for best TV show.
Oh, adaptation.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Adaptation. There you go. Okay.
Nothing on their video games, just on their
And there are other entertainment that they do.
Yeah. Baldurs Gate 3 swept the show pretty much, you know. Alan Wake got a couple awards there, what we expected as well.
Yes.
But there was one more announcement that was supposed to happen at the Game Awards. And the Baldur's Gate dev was like, he made a post on Twitter afterwards, and he was like, I had one job. If we won something, I was supposed to say that, you know, the game was launching today on Xbox, and they won several, and he just forgot, which I can't blame him. He had literally
Xbox tax.
He had like 5 fucking seconds to say whatever the hell he wanted to say, right? I can imagine the pressure of getting an award and having an actual 30-second clock, 30 fucking second clock in front of you. 30 seconds, bro.
And it says, please wrap it up.
At an award show.
Jesus Christ. I mean, but that was supposed to be the 4th announcement, like at the show, that Baldur's Gate 3 is available today on Xbox. A lot of people thought it was going to be put into Game Pass, or speculated, thought it was a possibility. That didn't happen, but I think one day that game
It's
probably
so
will
weird. Like,
be.
why
But
didn't they just add that like 5 seconds onto the end of the trailer that they had right before the game of the year? Like, they could've-
That's the part that didn't make sense. You're right, Jasper.
Yeah.
They should have had it in that trailer that showed, because we were waiting for it. We were like,
Yeah, they
oh,
had the
I thought for sure we're gonna have the
physical
available
edition.
now on Xbox. I
Yeah.
thought for sure that nope.
there was like not a lot of like at the Game Awards. I didn't see like any trailers like play on PlayStation or like available on Xbox or any of that kind of stuff.
We had the one for Xbox, right? Where they did show a bunch of different things, I think.
In the
or-
ads during the commercial breaks.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Persona thing was all Xbox, right? The Persona 3, and then they
yeah, yep,
advertised
yep.
Persona 5, Persona 4 Golden, and
Yep.
Persona 4
That's a good-
Persona Tactics, right? So yeah, that was a good one.
That's a good call out. That
Yeah.
is that the only one that we saw that was really like forward. We saw a PlayStation logo before some of their trailers and stuff like
yes,
that.
they did.
Right.
They did PlayStation Studios.
But yeah, it was interesting. It's kind of like missing about like that competitive aspect between the brands a little bit. There is like more about just the games, which you can say, hey, that's cool or not. I don't really care. But there was some other games too that were announced for Game Pass. There was the one that's with the deaf girl that is interested in music, like looked like a Disney Pixar type game. Looked awesome. That's coming to Game Pass day one.
was that
as well?
was that the Harmonica or whatever the hell it
I
was?
can't remember
Was
the
that-
name of it.
I gotta look this up.
It was in the
Harmonium or
it was in the
something like
pre
that?
it was in the pre-show, right?
Harmonia?
It was in the pre-show.
I think so.
Harmonium. Chat saying Harmonium.
Yeah, Harmonium. There we go. Yep.
Yeah, I think that game looks really cool. You know,
Yeah.
I have to say, like, I still like Disney movies and shit, right? I just be honest. I went to the theater last week and saw Trolls with my wife and daughter, and I still like animated movies. Whatever, you can call me cheesy. I don't care. But that game was like, hey man, I actually want to play that. It looks pretty damn good. So, but is there any other big like takeaways that weren't the big Xbox games for you guys, like Psycho? Is there something else that stood out to you that at the Game Awards? Because there's like 30 fucking something games here, man.
33, unless you split Sega up, and then it's 37. Crazy.
Psycho, is there a big game that surprised you that you're really looking forward to? He's out for a smoke.
Yep, he's out.
Oh, what about you, Fuzz?
Oh, there was quite a few of them. Like the first one for me, that at first I was like, "What is this cartoony looking thing?" Until they like showed rabbit ears being chopped off. Windblown, from the Dead Cells, developer.
Yep.
That looked pretty cool. Another one for me, Exodus, which, it was almost like a Mass Effect meets what do you call it? What is that movie with McConaughey? Oh god,
Interstellar.
Yeah.
Interstellar. So it was like, that was pretty cool. And it looked like they had combat at the end. Like, I know it was CGI for the first half.
Yeah,
but the back half looked like it was actual gameplay.
Yeah,
maybe
it doesn't
just in engine.
It doesn't seem like it's the most combat like type game. It seems more like kind of a narrative game, but with like a little bit of combat in it. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But
yeah, that one definitely looked cool. And then the one I me being the knucklehead on Twitter, I tweeted Phil and Sarah and Matt Booty and Chris Charla about Kimura or Kamori, which is the one lady that left Tango to start her own studio and stuff like that. That game looks like it's going to be pretty cool, as far as like you're going through like an animated Japan and fighting like, I guess half demon, half beast kind of creatures and things like that through like a fox window or whatever. That's something that would be a nice, different or a nice change of pace as far as what we would see in either Game Pass or on Xbox in general. Other than obviously the other, the main Xbox titles that were shown there, I think the other one that stands out is that The Last Sentinel for me. Like that, that one was pretty cool. Like Judge Dredd meets Cyberpunk kind of thing. And then the last one, I guess it's the first Berserker, Kazan, which was like part anime, part real, but like with different color tones, more color on the
souls.
Yeah, it's like the foreground enemies and main characters have a lot more coloring to them, and the background is kind of muted, so it has like a nice atmosphere, like part anime, part real. Just it looks so awesome. But there was a ton of stuff there, but those are like the main ones on the front of my mind. And then the whole, the Sega, fiver as far as those games.
Let's go,
And
man.
I guess there's another one, I guess, that they didn't include in that trailer that might be like a Panzer Dragoon kind of thing or something along those lines, possibly. But yeah, this honestly was an awesome showcase, a uncomfortable award show to some extent.
Correct.
But overall, I gave it a B for overall. Like, yeah, rushing people off the stage isn't cool, but they showed some awesome stuff. Like, kudos to them on this go around for world premieres when there wasn't supposed to be any world premieres, or they weren't going to call them world premieres. I don't know. So,
yeah, like as a
maybe
game,
he forgot that memo.
as a game showcase, this was like a 10 out of 10, right? Like as a
We said it was an E3. This
Yeah.
was like an E3 showcase of old. It was freaking awesome.
as an award show, this was the worst version of the awards.
Yeah.
like he's ever done. Like he just
They overcompensated for last year, is what they did.
way
Yeah.
overcompensate, especially when you have like him sitting up there like smoozing with Gonzo for a couple minutes.
thing
and then,
is,
like, doesn't
they-
let
They gave the host for the award more talking time than they did the fucking presenters. Because like
Right.
you had Christopher Judge do the jokes, you had Anthony Mackie come out and do the same joke for 5 fucking minutes. Like,
Right. And then
Yeah.
Gonzo and then all that other
Yeah.
bullshit you don't need. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand presenters. I understand having some star power there and stuff like that. It's interesting, right? But like it's fine as long as you're also respecting the people that make the games, like that are there too. Like
Why
they
even
felt
have-
like the most disrespected, man. It's
But
interesting.
why even have star power? Again, why is
Yeah,
this
I
industry so
agree.
afraid of promoting their superstars as
Mhm.
devs? Why? Again, this is that little brother syndrome that even though this is now the biggest entertainment form in anywhere, right? This is the biggest entertainment form there is, right? They still act like we need Hollywood here. No, you fucking don't need Hollywood here. You've got your own superstars, but this industry has always been against the superstar devs. They very rarely promote it. Why not start introducing people to the directors of these games? Why not when it's time? Again, as much as I love Matthew McConaughey, it's fantastic to see him come out and say he's a great dude. I could I could listen to him all day long talk. But why not bring out the actual director of that freaking game to introduce his new or her new baby to the world? Why not start showing the faces and having people start recognizing more people than your Kojimas and your Todd Howards and all this stuff? Why not start promoting the younger group that's there or the veterans who have never gotten any screen time? Promote those people, have those people come up on stage and do that work. Because they would be more than happy to, even if they're uncomfortable in front of the camera. That's okay. That's real, right? Versus having these actors come up who do this professionally all the damn time and are great at it. But this is a video game award ceremony. Start promoting your industry more. Sorry, my little rant. I think it's stupid. I think it's
You're on point because like Dinka, the excitement that Dinka had, or the one lady that left.
Yeah,
that
he
left
literally did a
Tango.
fucking kick before he left the stage. You know what I mean?
Or how about the guy sorry, I forget his name. That's doing that indie title. That's a voice actor that was talking about his dad and his dad
Yeah, that was
passing.
amazing.
That was real. You want to know why that was so impactful? Because that was freaking real. Everything else is fucking fake. But when somebody comes up there that's real, like that gentleman or like Dinga's passion for
you got
Blade,
30 seconds.
but it instantly connects with people more because it's fucking real, right? And it's not an actor up there doing what they're paid to do. It's not like that. These are real people who may be uncomfortable in front of the camera, but when they show that emotion, you know that's legit. Like that's them saying, I can't believe I'm here on stage right now talking about my game. Like that's what I love to see. That dude who talked about his dad and making this game for his dad, Not gonna lie, I had the crocodile tears showing up. I don't think you guys could see it on
Yeah.
camera, but I did. I didn't know this dude from Adam. I'd never seen this dude, never heard of this dude. I didn't even know he was a voice actor. But the way he was talking about it, you knew it meant something to him. And that's the difference between having actors in Hollywood up there introducing these games or talking about these games and having the real people who make them. It's totally different. We always talk about the human side of development. We always talk about how we need to recognize this more. That's one way you do it, by being able to put faces to these games that are actually in those chairs making them or directing them or making music for them or whatever the hell they're doing. That's what brings that home to people, like, oh shit, yeah, there's really somebody back there that loves this, that is actually pouring their heart out into it. Not just, oh, when shit goes sideways and there's a bunch of layoffs and then we got to hear people on X come out and say, my God, I'm just so sad and devastated that, I've lost, I feel like I'm losing all these friends and now I don't know what I'm going to do for my family. All of a sudden we're all like, oh shit, yeah, these fucking humans, man, this really sucks. Do it before then, while they're making these games, celebrating them. That's what this show is supposed to be about. My 2 cents, Jeff.
That was Abu Bakar Salim.
Thank you. Yeah.
What was his game?
That was that
He was in Assassin's Creed Origins Bayek.
Azul or whatever. What was it?
Zao.
Zao. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was that.
It was like the
Side-scroller.
African dude that
Yep.
had like wore 2 masks that you could like jump on different platforms with, like
Yeah,
each
it's a
mask had
side
a different
scrolling.
ability.
I would look kind of almost like a Metroidvania type game potentially, something
Kind of
like
like
that.
Ori.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game looked really good too, man.
Yeah,
I
it looked
agree.
Fantastic.
I think like some of it I like. I like when I see Matthew McConaughey come on stage. Or I like Simu Liu, right? Because Marvel guy, and like I know he's a big gamer as well. Like he's a Halo fan. He loves StarCraft and all this stuff. So it's like part of me likes seeing that aspect of like the acceptance, right? Like outside perspective of like, yeah, these fucking people you're not used to seeing in this realm, but they're here. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But like when you go out there and you have the game of the fucking year and other awards that were very, important, and these people go up and they start talking like it's about something serious or something, and they're just like 30 seconds, and it's like, it's just fucking, it was like, whoever came up with the 30 seconds, like that's like ridiculous, it's because they don't even give too many of them away, like to where they actually have stage time. Like most of them, Jeff Keighley just stands to himself, and the winner for this is this, the winner for this is this, right? That's how they do most of them. They only have a handful where they actually get to go up on stage, right? Yeah, you could like compensate for the Christopher Judge's stuff he did last year, right? But then you go and you give him a few minutes of useless time at the beginning of the show just so he can go make a dumb joke about Call of Duty or whatever. And, then have the actual person come up that wins an award and have them escorted off within 30 seconds. Like, it's just that was like so stupid. What a overcompensation in a disrespect to what it's supposed to be about, right? Now, 10 out of 10 for fucking a game showcase. Amazing. But I do feel like Keighley lost the plot at some point here, man, like with the meaning of this all, what he said it's about and stuff. And it just comes pure face value. This is what it really is about. It's about the fucking money. You know what I mean? It's about the money.
Of course.
It's about the showcase of these games. And the bigger the showcases are, the more viewers there are, the more money they make. And he doesn't give a damn about the devs that come on the stage and actually get to accept that award.
It's interesting though, because like he got a pretty decent rating overall, like out of the show, but there's also a lot of negativity coming out of it. So it's like, how does he take that? Does he take the positive feedback as like, I guess this is what people want, or does he actually listen to the negatives next year? Like, I mean, it's going to be kind of mixed messaging right now.
He was trying to make it shorter, right? But the show was already 3.5 hours long almost, without giving the devs time, because he had a shit ton of commercials in there, right? He had the other useless filler stuff like the Gonzo moments and all those kind of things in there. Like, stop making it about him. Like, you know, it's honestly, this is how I feel. I'm just gonna be straight up honest. I think the guy just loves being the center of this.
Of course.
You know,
Of course. Yeah.
he just
You have to have some ego to do something like
right
this. You
for
do.
sure. And he's relishing the like, look what I fucking did. Like I'm standing here up on stage with fucking Gonzo. I got like fucking Matthew McConaughey showing up. You know what I mean? Kojima's coming out here, and I'm gonna suck his dick some more. Like this is what I am all about. This is me. This is my show. Look what I fucking accomplished here. Oh,
Look at me.
Then you get your measly fucking award and get off the stage, you piece of shit. Hey, look at me some more, everybody. You know, like this is like that's what Keeley's like attitude is to me. Now I respect the fact that the show exists, right? But like it's just too much like, look at me, I'm fucking Jeff Keighley. And at the same time, you know, like it's like hard not to be impressed by what he does. Right, because it's an amazing showcase with huge announcements and all that kind of stuff.
It's a benefit to the industry what he's done.
Yeah, 100%. So it's a little bit of all that, but it's like, just dude, like you got to cut out some of the bullshit and stop making it so much about you. Like, get a fucking different host, please. We don't need you to be the host of the Game Awards. Like, I mean, I know it's your award show, but like. We don't have the fucking creator of the Academy Awards going up there. Hey, look at me, you know, like.
Sydney was better.
If you want to hire, if you want to hire somebody that like a Hollywood actor that like that's into gaming to do it, like get fucking Jack Black to host the awards, bro. Get like Simu Liu to host the awards when he's not in a cast and can walk around, right? Or whoever, like get an actor or. Somebody
you also don't need to do as many cuts back and forth. They could have kept it rolling a bit more if they didn't have to cut back to Jeff Keighley fucking 45 times during the whole show. Like,
right, that's my thing. He took the time from the devs. He took the time from the devs, right? It wasn't anything else other than the arbitrary like 30-second clock and then hey, wrap it up, please, you know. But then you see right after like they get ushered off after like almost crying while trying to accept this award. Like him, hey, look at me. I'm just fucking here hanging out with this other person that doesn't matter to anything that we're talking about or doing. I'm going to stand up here and have this stupid 4-minute joke session. You know, we're going to have this performance by a band that you probably couldn't care about, honestly. Like at the end of the day, like, just like, come on, man. You know, get with some of the, think about it. Think about how it comes across, Jeff.
I'm surprised he didn't have like ground rules for the nominees prior to the show. Like, hey, if you're a nominee for this category, you're going to have no more than 2 minutes. Like, I'm pretty sure this is how other award show works. And unless you're some sort of big name superstar, they're not going to rush you off before this time limit. But you got 2 minutes, and you're going to hear the music at 1:30. If you could be under that, great. But 2 minutes before we start cutting away kind of thing. And if you give people like, let's say a week notice, even if they're not necessarily the winner, all the nominees will probably have like a short script and they can do like some of them did where they have a card that they can look at or their phone or whatever the case is. And it would make it smoother. So that way they get up there, they give their shout outs and thank yous to the people that matter and all of that. And then you can move on to the next category. And as far as the presenters, it really, if anything, like unless it's a celebrity related game, just have the people that are involved with the game do any sort of like nominee type of things or intros, or do it himself since he wants to be the center of attention. Do all the intros into that, and cut out this Gonzo BS crap because like it has nothing to do with the gaming. Like I could see if there was a Gonzo game coming out. Maybe it's like promotion, kind of like what they did with the whole, you know, Elden Ring with the pots type of thing. But don't have non-game related stuff at the game show. Just it just takes away, and I think that's where he needs to fix it for next year. Just give limits to those nominees ahead of time so they know. And cut out the BS. If it's not game related, it ain't in the show. Period.
Yeah.
And that would be perfect.
Yeah, like the whole thing with like they gave time limits because of Christopher Judge, and then that's
Well, I'm sure they had time limits in the past, but they probably didn't. They weren't as
They
hard on
didn't
him.
play
because-
him off till he was like 5 minutes into his damn speech, and then and then it just added to it because the cinematic effect was like, oh, I'm gonna relish in this moment even further.
This was just overcorrection because of what happened last year.
Yeah,
yeah, and then then he comes out, and then he purposely drags it out and makes a stupid fucking joke, and it's just like, it's like, you're the reason why this is a thing this year, and here you are taking up a lot of time.
They brought his ass back
for whatever reason. It's like he shouldn't have been there. Period. Personally, they could have had somebody else come out and open.
He was there for the joke. That's the only reason they
Yeah.
brought him on.
Exactly. That's all it was, and it was like it was not needed, and the Gonzo thing was not needed, and it was nice to hear the bands, but they kind of don't need to have that either. Like the symphony, fine, but like the whole song and dance for Alan Wake 2. Like,
That was a big
that
hit,
shit-
though. Psycho.
I
was.
think
Well,
that
it was. But
the
it
thing
was-
with the
it-
band, I think it's just intermission for the crowd so they can go get more drinks and shit, to be honest.
It could be, but it's like, don't like having the Game of the Year speech cut down to 30 seconds. This is this is the top award
Correct.
of your whole fucking show, and you're giving them only 30
Of your
seconds
industry.
as well. Like, give them a minute or two at least, and then and I guess I saw an article. He was going to announce that Baldur's Gate 3 was going to be in.
We just talked
going
about
to be an
that.
Xbox.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was smoking. So
Yeah, I know you were.
and it was crazy. It was.
We went to
fucking
you.
Crazy.
We tried to go to you, and you were gone.
Oh yeah. Sorry, but yeah, it was like it's just as an award ceremony, it was piss poor. It was not handled properly. It was not as you said, Pong. You don't need to have all these Hollywood actors coming out and really present anything. I mean, you have famous people. I mean, look at Kojima. He's just a game director, and look how much they praise him. Just have people within the industry come out and present these awards. Like Todd Howard. I don't know, he probably wouldn't. Maybe he'll do it, but there's so many other people that are out there that could do it, that you could save on money and cut the commercials because you're paying all these Hollywood actors. There's got to be a fee. Mackie and McConaughey ain't doing it for free.
You think they have you think they got paid for an appearance fee to be
fuck
there?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I don't know.
If you're a
Is-
famous
would they?
Well,
actor,
Matthew McConaughey one was weird because he's also tied to that game in a
Yeah.
way,
Yes.
whereas Mackie was just there to fucking jerk off or whatever.
well, he was
talk about
nominating.
Twisted Metal or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't need, to have all these A-list stars there just to, you'd be like, look what I got. Like, he kind of needs to get his ego checked before people start saying fuck you and ain't gonna do his fucking show.
Yeah, I would
And
think I'd
then what are you gonna
respect
do
him
then?
even more if he took the back seat. You know what I mean? Like, look what I.
He will never do it. His ego is way fucking out there.
Maybe he'll
right
retire. I don't know. Like somebody asked him if he was going to retire. Like, and he was like, I don't know.
No.
Do y'all want me to retire? Like, it's I don't know what he's going to do. But like,
No,
Let me put a
gonna
poll
milk
up.
it.
should I retire? I think if
He doesn't want that poll.
I like I said, I don't necessarily mind like some appearances by like somebody for other people, like but like when it's such in contrast to the time that they got versus the actual award winners, that's where it's a problem for me, right? And like I do think you could have more of the presenters also be like legendary game developers, like you know, people in the industry. Like, let Hideo Kojima actually present an award, right, for game direction.
Well, his translator would present the word.
Right,
Yeah.
or whatever, or you could have like Todd Howard
Yeah.
give the award for best RPG, or he, you know, not when he's
He give it to
nominated,
himself.
not a year when
Or
he's
have-
nominated, you know.
Or,
what I mean?
or have a
Put
rep
on
from
the card, you
have
finish.
have reps from the previous year's winners do this year's winners,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Now
Yeah.
something like that.
It's
I
like
mean,
hand off of the award or whatever.
right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried
how
to do
great
that
of-
with Christopher Judge, right? I think
No,
was Christopher
he
Judge.
wasn't-
Did he
No,
present?
he was just he opened.
Right, but did
Yeah,
he?
but he
he
did-
presented
He
for the
did
award.
best best
best performer, actor,
performer.
performer, whatever.
Yes. Yes.
But then the guy that won got 30 seconds, you know?
Right.
And he was getting emotional up there, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they let Judge last year get all emotional for 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I forgot to thank his wife.
Because it's for God of War.
Yeah. No, just I don't know. Whatever. There's just a lot of better ways he could do it. So hopefully he learns. Hopefully he does. I mean, again, we'll see next year.
I mean, you can
So-
kind of like, okay. I think everybody can kind of tell when this is dragging on too long, and you can kind of like, you know, try and like give the hint, subtle music or whatever, and then bring it up or whatever. But like this time, it was like 30 seconds. It's like da 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 da. It was like just fucking loud, instant like music, just like blaring, like get the fuck off the stage, wrap it up. You know, and people are like, you know, I just want to think about all the people we lost, and it's like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here, you know, bye. And it just comes across really fucking poor, just bad production. That's bad. Ultimately, what that is, it's bad production. And who does that fall on? That falls on Jeff, right? So at the end of the day, he as an awards show, this was the worst fucking one. As a gaming showcase, by far the best game awards has ever been. You know, so I don't know. Maybe we can't have it both ways. It would have been amazing if they had done better with the awards, and then we wouldn't even be having this conversation, right? But the world's having it today. Like, everybody's talking about this stuff, so apparently we're not the only ones that noticed, you know. But anyway, overall, I think we all enjoyed it. We had a blast here for sure. And I think next year's, maybe he'll listen to the feedback and do even better. So we'll see. Maybe next year I'll have a host. Over under. Hire an actual host.
Yeah, he'll be the host.
Is that the main thing we don't like seeing is Keeley at these shows?
I mean, I don't mind him. I just think I
Yeah.
need less of him.
Just less of them, right?
Yeah. If he wants to do it, he can do it. I'm fine with that. It's just I think he needs to make his appearances less often.
Right. That makes sense. Man, so earlier, Psycho, we were talking about kind of some like big kind of takeaway game for you. Like, what was something besides the main ones that kind of stood out? Besides the
main
Xbox ones.
Yeah, definitely Exodus was I like that. Vision of Mana, that was a big one. I liked the last Berserker? Is it the last Berserker or the first Berserker?
Kazan.
Kazan. That I just love that art style of that. That just like screams like. Love to see that. That is like personally how I would love to see like a Final Fantasy VII remake, something like that. That that realistic background, but have like some kind of like the anime characters or something like that, because that was fantastic. I did like what's that? The Tango Gameworks.
Kamuri.
Yeah.
Kamuri. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that one. And then I wasn't around. I didn't see the one that you liked last night. The one that you still thought about after.
Yeah, No Rest for the Wicked. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my big takeaway, man. That No Rest for the Wicked, the ARPG from Moon, that just fucking stood out to me, man. I still can't stop thinking about that game. Like I want to play that shit right now. Like I really do. Like that, you can inject that into my veins. Just everything about that game looks amazing to me. One that a lot of us aren't talking about too, that I think was a pretty decent standout, was that Lost Records Bloom and Rage.
Yep.
Made from the former Don't Nod devs, or is it actually from Don't Nod?
It's
I think it's from Don't Nod. It's Don't Nod.
What was it called?
Lost Records Bloom and Rage.
That was one where it started out with the girl as a younger version, and then it showed her growing up. It went to a later stage in her life. And the
the Life is Strange looking. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mentioned that on Boom Show this morning.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool. There's a Sean Murray game, Light No Fire, right?
There was a funny comment on Twitter last night. Someone's like, Sean Murray, don't overpromise anything. Just show us the fucking game. And it's the next line is like, I'm gonna make the entire Earth. Sean Murray goes, fuck.
Did you see? Yeah, he goes, fuck. Did you see his one today?
No.
His one today, somebody also tweeted at him and said, please, Sean, just make the game. Don't overhype this game, blah, blah, blah. And he used the first time meme. He posted the first time meme. He quote tweeted it. Did the first time.
That's funny.
Fucking all. I love Sean Murray.
Rise of the Ronin, I thought looked really good. We actually got a date on that. That's the PlayStation published game. I noticed on the trailer, looking back, it said trademark by Koei Tecmo. So PlayStation doesn't own the rights to the brand. They're just publishing it. But that looked pretty good to me too. I'm still a little confused, like how like open it is, like what exact kind of game it is. I still didn't get 100% of that from the trailer. Is it going to be more like zone based, or is it going to be like open world, or like how is this game going to play out? But looked pretty good to me. And then there was Exodus, former BioWare devs. That looks pretty sick, but we haven't, like, it's going to be up in the air how that game's going to actually look. We have no idea what the game actually looks like right now, much like a lot of these games, right? But yeah, I think there was, like, overall just a lot of surprise games too. One big surprise game too is that Jurassic Park survival game.
Are you just gonna name off every game?
Yeah, no.
Why are we going around the horn? Like, I was trying to come up with some different ones here.
Yeah, I was like, I got one left.
Let's just go down the list, man. Let's go.
What you usually do to me, Pong.
Yeah, I know. You're doing great. You're just reading off the fucking list. It's fantastic.
Okay, all right. You pick one, Pong.
No, why they're all gone now? No. Shit, yeah, I had all these different ones in there. I've got to say that going back and rewatching these trailers, really definitely solidified what I had seen and what we talked about last night. Again, there was so many. Again, 33. If you take all the Sega stuff, I gotta start with Sega first of all. Sega really, my God, man, they seem like they finally have the lights turning on in there. Now, they've done some great things, don't get me wrong. Sega hasn't, it's not like Sega's been dead recently. Sega's done some really cool things. But for how long have we old Sega fans been saying, Sega, you've got this freaking IP. Just use the old IP. Again, we haven't seen some of the stuff since Dreamcast. Please bring it back. We will be here for it. And we got the comments today from the VP. I think Gene Park did an interview with the VP of Sega, and he said they want to get back to that Dreamcast mentality. Thank you, Sega. Yes, please. Capcom has shown you the way.
100%.
So that was a huge announcement.
We don't know if these are going to be like a short experience. Is it like a? Or is it going to be like a?
I think they're just full-fledged games, man.
Full remakes.
Because like you can only do so much with like a Jet Set or not a Crazy Taxi. Like it can only be like you can't make like a 30-hour game out of fucking Crazy Taxi. Like,
well, Crazy Taxi by itself was because you could just continuously play it, right? It's one of those arcade style games, and now they're adding police and all that kind of stuff into it. So they're definitely doing more with these games. But yeah, I think that's why they've got so many in production right now, right? So, but I gotta give a shout out to Psycho. So them doing that was fantastic. And then let me see what else here. Again, no rest for the wicked, just like Mav said. My God, Moon. Again, I'm not a Metroidvania guy, so I liked, obviously, Ori is gorgeous. I played both of them. I put some time into them, but eventually I fall off of them because I'm just not a platformer Metroidvania guy. But my God, they were gorgeous. So now you're going to give me that absolutely ridiculously beautiful worlds that Moon can do, hand-drawn, hand-painted style backgrounds that I love from Vanillaware. And you're going to give me that, but you're going to give me an action RPG. Okay, now you're speaking my language, Moon. So yeah, day one, no, and plus you've got one of the best titles ever created for a video game already. No Rest for the Wicked is just freaking an amazing title. I can't wait to play that game. And then obviously, Mav, you just brought it up. Sean Murray and Hello Games, Light No Fire. That shocked the hell out of me last night to see that they were coming out with a new game, to hear Sean say they now have been working on this game for 5 years. This game is close, folks. This game is closer than we think it is. And I don't care if Sean Murray's another overhyper. I don't mind that. Again, I don't have a problem with Todd over-promising his game. I never care. I'd rather developers shoot for that and not hit it. Now, obviously, No Man's Sky was nowhere near what they had promised when it first dropped. Again, I was there day one on PlayStation 4. But it doesn't matter. This team went back and worked and now has developed No Man's Sky into something even more than their original vision was. I give them all the credit in the world for that. They've learned their lessons. I expect Light No Fire to come out in a much better spot than No Man's Sky did. And that concept of being in this entire planet and being able to explore the entire planet seamlessly with friends or by myself and creating towns if we want to, flying dragons, flying birds, riding deer, or whatever the hell those things were across the world, getting loot, going and exploring and finding dungeons. Hell yes, Sean Murray. You're speaking my language here, bro. I'm all about this shit, man. So Light No Fire is definitely up there as well. Even though I'm not a Souls fan, Black Myth Wukong, better every time we see it. I'm going to try this game, even though I probably will fall off of it because it is Souls, but I want to experience this for myself. I want to at least have a bit of time with it. Every time, again, coming from a guy who had a very small team in the beginning. Yes, some of them have made games before, but this is the first time they've ever made a game together. Them coming out for the past 3 years, and every time they show this game off, setting the bar a little bit higher is unbelievable. And it looks like this game is legit. And we might be talking about this game in the same breath as potentially an Elden Ring when this finally drops next year. Black Myth Wukong definitely showed up and showed out here for sure. And I got to bring, this one was not mentioned yet. And this one caught us all off guard. I swear last night. Yeah. Mecha Break.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not going there. I'll leave that one for you. Mecha Break. Wow. Again, Zone of the Enders, like everything, like fast pace, mech battles. Give it to me all damn day long. That game looks so cool, coming out of nowhere, coming out of left field. Never seen this thing before, but my God, Mecha Break looked absolutely incredible. Obviously, I could continue on here. There's a ton of games in here, but I'll let Jasper go. I won't take up everything here. But
what are you doing, Pog? You just reading down the fucking list, man?
Nope, I didn't, because I shouted a couple. You shouted out, you bitch. So
okay,
stop.
Whatever.
Yeah, everyone's already said Exodus and The Last Sentinel, so the only one I'll add to that is Exoborn, Master of the Apocalypse. It's about the only other one that was not said tonight.
Well, give us one that you stood out to you, though, really big. What was, Jasper? Because, again, people already know in the chat. People listen to you for long enough. There's lots of stuff you don't like or are not interested in, so go ahead. Name something that really. So you said Exodus, definitely.
Yeah, Exodus. I mean, like, I'm a huge fucking sci-fi fan, so Exodus is like the one that really shined out for me. Again, gameplay. I'm not too sure how much that's gonna be there or not be there, because it seemed kind of walkie simulator with a little bit of combat. But it does seem like a cool world. because there's like that you travel through a gateway and go to other planets, and there's some kind of aliens. So that's definitely an interesting world. I want to see how they develop that. But that's the main standout for me is Exodus.
Yeah. We got a Space Marine 2 release date.
Looks better and better. Yeah, we got the release date.
September, right?
Yep. September next year.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much, man. Did you? We got yours, right, Fuzz?
Yeah, he was the first one.
Game
Award trans.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Since nobody said it, everybody in the chat, keep your eyes on Banishers, Ghost of New Eden 2. That new trailer with more again, this is outside of Don't Nod's normal type of game. It's going to have the narrative, obviously, which they are masters at. Whether you like their games or not, they are so damn good at the narratives side of things. But now they're adding combat, and that combat is looking great. Again, for this type of game, that isn't going to be all combat. It is definitely going to be a narrative driven game, but those moments of combat that they're showing off look absolutely ridiculously spectacular. And again, Don't Nod doesn't always do it for me at all, but this game, Banishers, Ghost of New Eden, every time they show this, better and better. I can't wait for that one too.
Yeah. Maybe the worst named game here, but interesting game that we saw was the casting of Frank Stone.
Oh,
remember
the Dead by Daylight
spinoff game.
Yep.
Looked kind of interesting. I'm kind of a little bit more intrigued because of single player. I hate Dead by Daylight. I think it sucks ass. It's janky shit. But to me personally, if you love it, cool. I'm not complaining about it. Just saying I don't like it. Whatever. But oh shit, that sent Jasper out. He was so pissed off about that Dead by Daylight comment. He's like, I'm fucking out of here. You know, I'm just usually not into those games like the Friday the 13th game. I'm not a big into or any of that stuff, whatever. But the single player aspect here does intrigue me a little bit on that. And then the Jurassic Park.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, go ahead, Fuzz.
Jurassic Park.
No, I'm sorry. I was going to ask Jasper what he thought about now with Ready or Not finally being a full release kind of thing. But that was one of those games that early access was pretty cool to me. An alternative for like a Rainbow Six kind of thing, you know, a throwback to like SWAT. So for those that want like a tactical shooter on PC, it'd be nice if it comes to console, but I know there's a lot of controversy on some of the levels on that game, but seeing that come to a final, you know, out of early access is going to be pretty cool. And then you had the two, you know, like free to play games. You had the final Stealth Drop, which was pretty cool. And then was it First Descendants? I think they showed there as well. So it's like
the First Descendants was confusing us because we thought it was Death Stranding at first, because like the environment they were in literally was like the environment from all the Death Stranding trailers, you know? And then they even had the person go up in the air and stuff like that. And then it was like, we all thought it was like Death Stranding for a while, but anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there was just so many great games. And like you guys were getting ready to talk about with Jurassic Park, like, Capcom won't give us a Dino Crisis, but goddamn, somebody made a good Jurassic Park or something that looks like what a lot of people have been asking for from like a Dino Crisis, or just having Jurassic Park do that survival style game. It's pretty cool. But
yeah, it's first person, but it's still, if they're not going to give us Dino Crisis anytime soon, I'll play a first person survival Jurassic Park. That's cool. I'll do it. That for sure.
Yeah.
And let's not forget too, Mav, we should shout out Atlas with Metaphor.
Yeah.
Metaphor looks oh my god, I can't wait to see what they're doing with that game, because it looks like it's really deep. It looks like there's a lot of different mechanics going on within that game. It's going to be different from Personas. Again, when Atlas does something new and Xbox has Atlas in their back pocket, because there is no mention of PlayStation anywhere on that at all. Even if you go to the website right now, there's no mention, unless they've recently updated it. But Metaphor is looking so damn cool, along with obviously P3, the remake, coming to Game Pass day and date as well. But Metaphor looked really cool. Atlas is doing their thing.
Yeah. Man, just awesome.
That was a pre-show.
Yeah, pre-show thing.
Yeah, pre-show, yeah.
There's just so many damn games there, bro. I think Jasper's having internet trouble or something. But any other final thoughts or takeaways from the Game Awards? I mean, I think one thing we can expect at Dev Direct January, February. Do we think it's January or February, guys? I'm leaning towards early February personally.
It depends when Towerborn is going to hit, because I think Towerborn's the first one out the gate, and I think they'll include that in that direct. So if Towerborn is like a February, then I think we get a late January. Otherwise, yeah, I'm in agreement. January, February, I think.
Yeah, last year's
First week of
was in
February.
January, right?
Yeah.
When
it was.
they dropped Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. Yep.
So it was like January 10th or so, somewhere around there. It was like early January.
Yeah.
I
I think the next one is January as well. Like
and Tim-
we're supposed to get one more big drop. Well, not big drop, but like we're getting another Game Pass drop before this month is out, I think.
Yeah, Far Cry 6 is coming in, and we're getting what's that Against the Storm coming to PC Game Pass, which is a big one. So yeah, we're getting a couple more games on top of it. And I think Tim Dog put out a tweet tonight that said expect announcement for a direct soon. And the direct coming very soon. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Yeah, that would make me think it's more January like they did last year. Maybe they felt like that timing worked great. The only thing is like now they just had 3 big announcements, so it's like, man,
Right.
this is insane to think about everything. Between now, like we're talking about last night, between now and June usually is the longest layoff between gaming news, right? But we have with Dev Directs and potentially Nintendo Directs and State of Plays or whatever they end up doing, I think it's kind of be what fills in that gap. So I think we'll get one of each in the next 6 months or so.
We'll finally get that secret showcase.
At State of Play, I don't know about a secret showcase. We'll see. I mean, they have Rise of the Ronin. They announced the date on, and I think it's is it February or
It was
April,
either
March?
February or March.
I can't remember the date,
I
but
think it's
When is
March
Helldivers
something.
2? Isn't Helldivers 2
February.
right in there too?
February.
Helldivers 2 is
Who dropped both
February,
of
and
those?
then Ronin is March, I guess.
Ronan's March. So February,
Ronin's
March.
March.
So I would imagine
They
they
may-
probably have a State of Play before Ronin drops at least. I don't
Would
know.
they? Or would they hold it till after and use it as the PlayStation 5 Pro announcement and announce Wolverine and stuff there with that?
They gotta have a Dream Showcase in 2024. They have to.
I mean, do we think
They don't.
Concord's still coming out this year? Or
I mean,
Supposed
they
to.
haven't. said
I was
anything.
surprised if it wasn't at the Game Awards. Because that
Might
literally
be.
we've only seen that one trailer that actually had nothing in it, you know.
Correct.
That will be saved for the PS5 showcase as well.
So
Bro.
what about Baby Steps? When's that coming out? I know everybody's really excited about Baby Steps. Yeah.
That's probably an early one too. Like
Did they
I
announce the
have
date
to
for Baby
believe.
Steps?
No, I don't think they did, but I get the impression it's going to be something like Helldivers 2, Baby Steps, Rise of the Ronin, Secret Showcase, showing the PS5
shit.
Pro.
Is that
And
real Don
then-
Sega? The Otaku? Is Rise of Ronin dropping the same day Dragon's Dogma 2 does?
Oh,
shit.
wow, really?
Oops.
Oh, Spider-Man says Foam Stars. Yeah, when's Foam Stars
Yeah,
drop?
Foam Stars.
I think that's March, isn't it?
I don't
Yeah.
fucking know.
April.
I don't care.
Yeah.
If Rise of Ronin is dropping on Dragon's Dogma 2 date, oof, that's gonna be tough.
Oh, yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 looks sick. Oh my god.
Well, there's gonna be PlayStation fans who want that
Mm.
too. There's zero question. That's gonna be
Yeah.
tough for Koei Tecmo.
Yeah. It's interesting because also the biggest, like the end reveal, the last reveal of the show from third parties was Monster Hunter Wilds, which none of us mentioned, you know.
Yeah.
2025. It's far
Yeah.
out.
And we
It
know what
was
it's going to
real-
be.
It
It's
was a
gonna be
little
another-
rough. Yeah, it was a little rough. No question. If you look at it.
Yeah. It's going to
I
be
watched
another
back and
Monster
forth,
Hunter, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be another Monster Hunter. Either you're a big fan or you're not. I would like to try them out, but yeah, you're right, man.
Yeah.
That it was kind of
I don't see anybody
was
talking
cool.
about it. You know, surprisingly, like, I mean, that being said, like Monster Hunter Worlds and and Rise were also massive games that are extremely popular that I don't see anybody ever really talking
It's
about.
because there's only
too
one
much.
game that's coming out in 2025 that matters anyway.
True.
What is that, Jasper? Tell me.
GTA.
GTA. Yeah. But yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds and GTA 6 in 2025. It's already the
Fable.
2025 is already fucking getting so.
Fable.
Oh my god, dude.
Fable should be
I
there.
think it's on
Yeah.
on our end. It's going to probably be Fable,
Yep.
probably Perfect Dark, possibly
Yep. Potentially
GTA.
Gears 6.
Yeah. Oh, man.
If the Gears collection also could come out potentially,
Yep.
like this year or next year or something, like
Late this year, holiday Gears collection would be fucking. Oh my god, be so great, man.
or
Oh,
yeah, I
man.
mean, I guess
Yeah.
I mean next year because I'm already on 2024's timeline now.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. Is
like-
2024. When I said that, I meant 2024.
Yeah, it's
obviously.
saying this year, but I forgot.
Yeah,
It's still 2023. You know, gonna play a new 2023 game this weekend, Avatar. It didn't get the best reviews from critics, but everybody that's playing it, that are the real gamers that are actually play games and don't have dumbass opinions, seem like they're really enjoying the game.
Yeah.
So
It was the same
Yeah,
case with
Clockwork
another, Ubisoft game not too long ago with the, Far Cry 6. So
yeah,
maybe it's the same reviewers reviewing this as well, and they just can't get it past their heads or whatever. It's not Far Cry, but they see it and, oh, it's too much Far Cry in this, fantasy world. I don't know.
Yeah, if Clockwork Revolution doesn't launch in 2024, that'll be early 2025 game too.
it's
Fuck.
like just pick pick it. Like it doesn't matter if it doesn't hit 2024, it's hit 2025. Doesn't hit 2025, it's hit 2026. They're so full, man. It's insane.
Yep. And we still got ID's game to be announced. We still got all these studios that are ZeniMax Online game to be announced. We still have we got games like Contraband. We got IO's Project Dragon. We got it's nonstop. It's nonstop, man.
ZeniMax Online's game.
Yeah.
That's like
which I now am believing that it's Starfield's online, but we'll see.
Maybe.
If it is a multiplayer Starfield world kind of thing, like
fuzzy, then we're really not going to have time.
yeah,
We
like,
got
I'll be playing that until GTA comes out. Kind of
we
thing.
got stuff like Path of Exile coming into Path of Exile 2 next year coming into beta. We got that that'll go live in 2025. I mean that's
and we still got more content in all these fucking games because they keep getting updates, man. It's like I don't know how to play everything that we want to play.
That's right. There's going to be more tracks added to
Forza.
Probably get. Hopefully, I'm hoping they get Daytona and Atlanta, and I'll be real happy at that point.
We'll have a Halo expansion at some point. Certain Affinities version is gonna come.
You would think.
You would think. Yeah, there's again, you guys chat. You guys know from listening to us, but now that we're getting closer to 2024 and we're starting to look ahead, it is out of control. Like we thought this year was big, but the next 2 years could be the same. One of those years could actually surpass this year. Like it is insane what we've got coming.
Each year will surpass each year.
Yeah, it's possible. Because look at all these games that we just got announced that we had no idea about. Like we had no idea about these games, and some of these games are very far along. Some of them are just starting, but some of them are obviously, like I said,
Not to mention whenever Activision gets cleared up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just going to be a whole nother can of worms to open up.
And Activision Blizzard's got more in the line that we know too. We know that they're working on other stuff as well.
Yeah,
man. I mean, this is Golden Age. So as long as the world doesn't destroy itself, man, we're good. So the sun doesn't eat us alive.
I think a lot of people are just coming to the realization of the stuff that we've been talking about, like for a couple of years, about the lineup and the games and development and everything. And it's like, and this games media is like, oh,
they don't have
they're
anything.
making games.
Remember 2022?
That's what I'm saying. All these jaded people that just look at this stuff and somehow say that gaming's worse off than it ever has been, and that there's nothing to play, and all these games are lookalikes, and they're all. I'm like, what the fuck industry are you looking at right now? This shit is crazy right now. And these aren't small. This isn't just like indies showing up nonstop, like always. This is big production, like huge games coming out constantly now. Constantly. We used to get 2-3 of these a year. Now it's like fucking 15, 20 giant games.
I remember back in the day, it was 1 month a year. It's like November. It's like, oh, it's going to be so crazy. There's 2 or 3 games, big games coming out the same month. And now it's like every fucking month there's 2 or 3 big games.
Right. Correct.
And it's going to be like
Especially
that.
Gamers like us that like to play a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's going to be like that, man. It's going to keep being like that. And it's like people trying to discount certain games don't count as big games and all this shit. Like, fuck that. Like, it's just like, there's so many awesome, huge games and all these different genres that are like equally important to me. You know, like it could be Starfield, or it could be Baldur's Gate, or it could be Age of Empires, or it could be a Forza, right? Or you could like go and say like Final Fantasy 16, or um like Company Heroes 3 even, or whatever. There's just like so many damn games that like have a lot of work put into them. So many different genres, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter this year, like, and that's what we're going to be looking forward to the next few years, guys. Like Tekken 8 is going to be next year as well. Sega's coming back with bringing all these IPs back and stuff, and I just can't stand all the complaining about shit constantly. Like I said, fuck them, man, fuck them. If they could just be miserable, let's be miserable. Like
miserable, I just can't. I don't understand how. I just don't get it, man. Jasper, you getting Homeworld 3 next year, by the way?
I may
Looking
not.
Looking good, bro.
Well, I'll talk about it after the show.
Okay, all right. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, Steel and I, Bab, I forgot to tell you too. Steel and I just found out that Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, the new RPG coming next year, is multiplayer, co-op, up to 4 players.
Really?
Yes. Steel and I are playing it streaming. We're gonna get it on PC.
Okay,
but up to 4 players co-op.
So,
yeah,
I didn't know it was on PC. Gorgeous. I thought it was just on PlayStation.
Yeah, no, it's on PC too.
Okay, well, is it crossplay or do I need to get it? I'll probably get it.
I don't know if it's crossplay. I didn't read that far into it, but yeah, I was shocked. Up to 4 players. It's gorgeous action RPG.
Yeah,
anime. Okay. Oh my god, yeah.
All right, I'll get it on PC. I'll be hanging out with you guys playing that shit. Let's go, man.
Like I said, there's just so much.
What a time to be a fucking gamer, right? Well, everybody, it's been a fun show, and I want to thank all of you for hanging out and chilling with us tonight like you did last night. You guys rock, and we'll be back for more shows next week. Monday's FSP, and Tuesday we'll have Fun Pop, and Thursday we'll actually have a PM in the PM.
A real one.
For the first time in a month.
And
it's insane. And then next Friday again, Xbox Ultimate. But let's get everybody out of here, guys. Psycho, tell everybody where they can find you, bro.
Chat, thanks for coming out tonight. You guys are fantastic. Always a pleasure doing shows with you all. You can find me on social media everywhere. Psychonauts 8. You can find me Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays on the Fun Speculation Network at 10 o'clock on his many great shows that he does. And don't forget, Thursdays, PM into PM, 7 o'clock. Be there or be square.
Hype, man.
Love it. Thanks, Psycho.
It's the best show on Thursday night.
Appreciate it, bro. Jasper, where can everybody find you, sir?
Yo, check it out. Lord Jasper Twitter, Lord Master Jasper YouTube, all that fun stuff. Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, right here at 10 o'clock Eastern Time on the Fun Speculation Network for FSP, Fun Pop, and Xbox Ultimate. That's where I am. That's what I do. Check it out.
Thanks, Jasper. And the fuzzy one, Fuzzy Belvedere, where can everybody find you?
Oh, just thank you for having me on. Always awesome being on here with you guys. Thanks to everybody in the chat for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. For all those that would just want to hear my rambles and rants on anything gaming, just follow me on Twitter or X or whatever it is these days at Fuzzy_Belvedere. You can also find me on the Shop Podcast tomorrow. We'll have Mav as a special guest as well, along with Game Pass Daily. Pong, I know you got a party to go to. If you can make it, great. If you can't, I know you'll be having fun last night. So take care with the family tomorrow and stuff.
Thank you, bro.
PTK and us will be on at 8 p.m. tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time on PTK Blam's channel. And then Monday you can find me on Xbox Lunch Break Special 12 noon on Double Barrel Gaming. And then later that evening, FSP 10 p.m. Eastern Time right here on this channel. Hope to see you guys there.
Right on, Fuzz. Appreciate you, bro. And yeah, I'll be there tomorrow night hanging out with you, like you said, and PTK Shop Podcast. Everybody come hang out there. Pong Soul, thanks for being the choo-choo man the last 2 days. It's been amazing. Tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great night. Great conversations tonight, brother. Again, the excitement's in the air, coming off of just a ridiculously good game show. Not award show per se, but a game show like it was getting another E3. So it was fantastic to talk to you all about it again, because I could talk about these games. Again, we didn't even cover a quarter of what the games are out there that we could have these discussions. And chat, you guys, obviously I'm seeing the excitement there too. Again, that's what we want to bring. We got to battle against the negative Nancy's out here that just want to bring everybody down, that somehow think that they in this community need to shit all over this industry at any chance for their own reasons. It's crazy, man, because this is the best time ever to be a gamer. So thank you all for being here. Nothing but love and respect for all that you do and all the support you've been giving us on these shows this year. It's been crazy to see the rise of the Fun Speculation Network and all the different channels. So thank you all for that. Otherwise, tomorrow morning, we are going to have a shortened living split screen, probably going to be around 2, maybe 2.5 hours, somewhere in that neighborhood, because as Fuzzy said, I do have a Christmas party to go to, an early one. My dad is in town, so I'm going to go and see some family tomorrow, but we are still going to have a show, and we are still planning on giving away the Series S tomorrow. Remember, you got to be there live, you got to be subscribed, but to have a chance. But Steele and I will be getting down to business live, raw, and uncut at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. So set those alarms right now. Steele and I will be obviously talking a lot of award show, going through our games. Steele's got different opinions. He likes different style games. So we're going to have some fun there tomorrow morning. Be there and buckle up and get ready for that one. And then, as Fuzzy said, you still got to check out the Shop podcast tomorrow night. I'm probably not going to be there. I don't think I can make it already till PTK, but obviously Mav's going to be there, Fuzzy, PTK, the Shop podcast every Saturday night. The best way to end your Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock Central Time. Be there for that. Next week starts all over again. Shout out the man. He joined us yesterday. He wasn't even going to stay, and then he wound up staying for the whole damn thing. Shout out to Boom. He does it 5 days a week. I don't know how he does it, but Double Barrel Gaming is the channel. Mr. Boomstick is the man. Every Tuesday, it's All Good Things Green. Xbox Factor Podcast, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. And then, like Mav said, first time in a month, we might have a regular PM in the PM. I don't want to jinx it, so knock on wood. We'll be back, me and Mav, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time. Be there for that. And then, God willing, be back here again next Friday night. Otherwise, everybody, it is the golden age of gaming. Please have a fantastic weekend. Get out there, enjoy some of those games, play what you love what you play. And I'll talk to you all real soon tomorrow morning. See you all there. Mav, get us out of here, brother.
I'll leave you all with this. Holy shit, Xbox is fucking making a blade. Peace out.
Fucking amazing.
Oh.